Hello. Uh, so just a little for the live catchers, little preemptive. Yeah, sorry about the mix up. Yeah, sorry about the little confusing triple delay mix up, rewind back forth. But sometimes again life gets in the way. Uh, there's a lot going on in our lives, and then of course there's also our wives who also have things going on as well, and
People are saying it's better this way. What's weird is that I know you can hear me because we were just talking. But now I am quiet.
you're back.
I'm back.
You're back. So, what that was about was quite simply, these are the QC45s, or not the 35s, and I got them just before the trip I took, and so
They're good.
that they're great, and that changed the device. So yeah, sorry about that. They take the USB-Cs now, which is much. I really appreciate that.
Oh, it helps.
It's lovely.
Oh, it's a lot.
I
It's a
want
lot
to.
good.
I want to get all the USB micros and minis out of my life that I can. So, yes. Okay. Anyway, so
You know those wholesome things, like cut everything toxic out of your life, and it's like a picture of like your terrible mother or something. No, it should be a picture of a micro USB.
that's fucking great. Writing it down, wonderful. Uh, I was just gonna say that I think it's about time for that yearly reminder that once upon a time, when the podcast was simply coming out as the MP3 format that it is, we would move
No
around our recording schedules according to whatever was happening in life.
Oh, it was all over the place. It was like there was once where we did it like Saturday and then Monday.
Yeah, someone was like,
And
when will the podcast break the sanctity of the Sabbath? And it's like, oh, we've already done that.
oh, many times.
So, all this to just again, once a year, a little reminder that that was what we would do, and then you would get it out at some point in the week, and that was kind of how it goes when we
It
add.
was like magic.
And then when we add the thing that says "Watch us record it live," right? That adds a video component and a live time schedule component. But life still happens, so
Yeah.
unpredictable things will occur at the last second, and we'll have to shovel things around and move it around. But at the end of the day,
So like
the
originally,
the process of go ahead.
I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead. Okay.
Originally it was going to be Tuesday, right?
Mhm.
And then I'm like, well, shit. Well, the patch day for 14 is Tuesday, but also Gamescom is also Tuesday.
Right.
It's like, well, shit. So I ended up streaming all day, and then we do it today. It's like, well, nope. I don't know what you were doing today, but we need an extra hour.
Well, literally, Punch Mom is working from home, and like there's conflict sometimes with how we set things up.
Yeah.
And try to minimize the amount of background noise and everything that we can. So, it was just one of those things. But the description on every episode says you can watch the process of us recording the podcast live, right? And the process this is part of it. Is sometimes shit gets moved, so don't get it twisted. Even though this has become the standard, it is still the thing that goes adjacent to the recording process.
Oh, you worry too much.
So
Like these people, I was in the chat. These people were here over an hour ago, and they're not doing anything. They're not going to leave. Most of these motherfuckers are at work right now.
yes,
Just fucking trying to just get away with doing as little work as they can, and good on them.
yes, absolutely. But just for those, and there's some that are new that are also like unaware of the way it is set up. It is like this is the extra bit that gets attached onto the moving around to make it work for when life happens. So, and life did happen, but you know what? So did a whole lot of Gamescom. Now,
Oh,
fortunately,
oh,
I don't know how
want
you're.
to talk about Gamescom.
Yeah. Yes. Fuck yeah. That rules. Nice.
I streamed it, dude. It was the worst show I think I have ever seen.
I'm very happy to hear that, because
unironically, legitimately, I was like 10, 15 minutes in, and it was like, did they show any gameplay? And people in the chat were like, you just watched Callisto Protocol gameplay. And I'm like, I did?
Let's fucking go. That's yes, because I'm like, look, I've got a giant list here of fucking pre-rendered cutscenes, and I don't know if you want to just talk about that, but I don't really want to talk about a list of random fucking FMVs.
Yeah.
You know?
So you know what? Let's just bang out Gamescom in 10 minutes right here. Okay. Gamescom was the most pre-rendered, most nothing show I've ever seen. That was also simultaneously almost back-to-back trailers of new stuff, but every single thing was target renders and pre-rendered cutscenes and nonsense. And the only game that I can remember, at all having like a video game part was Justin Roiland's High on Life from Squanch Games. And the reason why I can remember that, I do remember that. Yeah.
Yes.
But the reason I remember High on Life with Squanch Games is because that might be the worst showing of a game I've seen on a big stage in my life. Just the most violent, out of touch cringe. Just violent cringe. And then the trailer like cut to its own title like they were embarrassed. Dire.
So
dire.
I did my thing in that I caught up with the the roundup after the fact. So I just have a giant list of YouTube videos minus all the bullshit. And as I'm going down the list, I'm like, oh my god, there's not a shred of gameplay here. Like some of them, there was like, for example, like I think it was Friends versus Friends, where they had like a slice for 5 seconds of gameplay. And then it was all like concept and feeling trailer, which even in a game like that where the colors and the designs are fun and interesting things, you're still like, you have to show what the fucking game is going to be, guys. We're still doing this thing. I think this is the most pre-rendered event I've seen in years. Like,
the Friends versus Friends thing really represents a really fantastic thing about how awkward the show was. So Jeff comes out and says, Friends versus there's a game coming out and it's got a catchy tune, right? A really catchy song. And they start playing it and it's got like acoustic guitar, folk, hipster girl song on it. Mm-hmm. That kind of thing, like almost Adventure Time. But here's the thing. It's not catchy. It's a fine tune to go with your game, but it doesn't have a hook or like a particularly strong melody. So it's like not catchy. It's not even catchy.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think the thing that hurt me the most by far was the crowd is German, but Jeff is not used to hitting up a German crowd. And German crowds are a lot like Japanese crowds. So you're like, hey, who's happy to be here? Yes, we're happy to be here. Yes. So
being here is good.
So he goes, hey, you guys love Homeworld, right? And there's like a applause break to dead silence, like pin drop dead silence, and it's like fuck, ow, ow.
Yeah, I'm just scrolling down here, and it's like, okay, we saw like a Dune trailer, we heard about a Doom game, there was a Word song, there was Dead Island 2, and it's like, yeah, and then like all of this was just cinematic, like nothing of gameplay. Like so Lies of P put out some gameplay.
Yeah, I wanna talk about Sterling put out this great video many years ago about the way Ubisoft fakes gameplay footage, in which they give you long form gameplay footage made with fake people like, hey man, we'll go do this quest.
Right.
Okay, and
The
that
stage
crosstalk thing.
presentation.
And now we're at like a new version. So it's pretty clear that people want to see the actual literal game. And at this show, what we got was pre-rendered trailer over and over and over. But then we got what I'm going to call it the Gotham Knight gameplay reveal, where I don't know if you've been watching these Gotham Knight videos, but there's a real stark difference between the trailers they put out and like the gameplay reveals they do. The gameplay reveals for Gotham Knight look so bad, it looks like Anthem bad. It looks like unbelievable garbage. And then they do the gameplay trailer, which is 99% in-game cutscenes and then like dev camera curated shots of like the takedown animations.
Yes, the takedown trailer. Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Right?
Takedown moments and or like cinematic kill moments or things that are effectively not gameplay anyways is the it's the next level in between. Totally. Mm-hmm.
And so then you get something like Dead Island where they're like, "Oh, do you want the gameplay?" And everyone's yay. And the gameplay trailer for Dead Island was like sub 3-second cuts of like throwing things at zombies. I don't think a character takes a single step forward in the whole thing. Like, oh my god, look, like it's like it's not even smoke. It's just mirror at this point.
So like it's funny because like as playing Dead Space and we have those moments where like when you get grabbed you mash A and then there's a little he pulls the thing off of him and does a kill on it animation and I'm like, oh that's right, that's for the trailer right there, right?
Yeah.
The camera drops low and starts rotating as you're doing a big cool and it's like, yeah, that's your in-game but still a cutscene kind of moment.
But I really think we need to talk about Everywhere. The fakest game I have ever seen in my career of commentating about video games.
So I don't like the trailer was a bunch of locations and then a couple of cars driving through those locations and then some people standing around and I don't know what to make of it. Like,
so here's what it is, Wooly. It's everything. It's a game where everyone can build their own game and their own experience. And we want the community to build this. We want it to be their world. We want them to tell stories in our game. And what we have to show is these 8 pieces of concept art. I was a producer on Grand Theft Auto. And here's some gameplay, which is clearly target renders for an investor. I'm sure you've seen a lot of those, like internally back when you worked in the business. But like I think a layman could pull that from a second. Like that's not real.
Nah, bro.
That's not an engine.
It's gameplay footage. It's about this big, and it's on a reel that's rotating sideways off camera when you see it. And don't worry about it.
The dude is standing there, and he is doing everything in his. This was the show of don't say the quiet part loud, right? So this guy is doing everything he can to not mention this is obviously a cryptocurrency game that they are begging for investors.
I didn't see any of the actual talking part.
No, you didn't. No, it wasn't mentioned. I'm looking at the guy. I'm looking at the pitch. I'm looking at, I was a producer at Grand Theft Auto, and here's the concept art, and it's the start of the show. Like, this game doesn't exist. It's part of the metaverse, which is why you can do everything, because it's everywhere. And I'm like, oh, this is an investment pitch being brought to a show like it's a real thing.
Well, I mean, that, that's perfect timing because even though Evo was now 2 weeks ago, I don't know if you caught wind of Godfighter.
I did not.
as you mentioned that, so I mean, again, real quick.
Oh yeah.
Trailer airs at Evo called Godfighter, and it's just like footage of a character. I'm like, okay, there's a character kind of walking slowly towards the camera, waiting for some gameplay to start, and then it never does, and then it cuts to another character walking slowly towards the camera. I'm like, okay, and then a third character doing the same thing, and they turn around and it goes Godfighter, and I was like, you got to show some gameplay, guys. This is Evo. Come on, what's going on here, right? And then, and it was out of place because it wasn't on the same day as the other, like, trailer reveals. It was on, like, main day. So I was like, okay, so what is this? And then someone goes and jumps onto the website, checks the source, and sees that it links directly to something called, I want to say it's NFT, what's the word? NFT champions on the source code for when it plays. So people are like, what the fuck is this? You do a little digging, you find Sigma Studios, and holy shit, the people that made Infinite Versus and BLITZ NETCODE and then got really embarrassed and took that offline and said, fuck you all for making fun of us, and took their ball and went home so that when you click the play button, you can't play the game anymore with all the assets of Naruto and Spider-Man and shit, is now coming back out with a new fighter, and it's an original NFT fighting game. And immediately just like like people are like, oh shit, it's back. And what bums me out is the wad was blown too early. We caught on too early, and everyone started laughing at it. And then over in the Discord, apparently the dude had a huge hissy fit again and freaked out, and then shut everything down and like ran away again. And it's like, God damn it, let the thing come out so that we could look at it, because if we never got our hands on Infinite Versus and saw the BLITZ netcode with our own eyes, we never would have been able to report direct from the fucking the war zone to you and get the footage of it. So you can't scare them away. You have to let it come out, let us get our hands on it, then you scatter them to the winds.
We're in this really fascinating place where this happens every time. Like, we saw the video game version of it, which was the MMO and the Call of Duty shooter, but now we're seeing a broader term with the crypto shit, which is like people who wait 3-4 years to get in and then go, I'm gonna get in, and it like burns down around them, and they're like, it's too late, I'm already getting in, I can't stop now that the house burned down. And they're coming out with a post crypto crash fucking racket, but like, and you're like, it's died 6 months ago.
But it's just combining it with the like gargantuan coward energy of BLITZ netcode. And
I can only appreciate that, to be honest.
And the Infinite Versus 3D Mugen asset game. Like, we're just like, like shutting it down so clicking play on Steam no longer launches the game.
That's just great.
Because fuck you, great. Don't make fun of me.
Don't make fun of me as a powerful urge, okay? There's a lot of things that I don't do because I don't want people to make fun of me for.
Listen,
right?
Man.
Sure.
But you know what? Evo ran that trailer. And whatever, they got paid, I suppose. So you secure the bag. Good job, Pokimane.
I also,
you do it.
Before we get too far away from don't say the loud part, this quiet part loud. There was one cool game called Moon Fighter. What's it called? Moonbreaker. I don't know if you saw this. It's probably the legitimately best game of the whole thing.
Okay, I stopped going down the lists at a certain point.
Okay, Moonbreaker is a miniatures game where you play a strategy game on tiles with miniatures, not like animated models. Like, it is a statue, and then the statue animates by moving, like somebody's picking it up and spinning it and trying to be cool. That has a highly advanced like miniature painter with finishes and tints and varnish and all this stuff to make your miniature look cool. And the whole time the guy's talking on stage, you can see his mouth forming the words Warhammer, but don't say Warhammer. What the fuck is that?
Sorry.
Anyway, don't say Warhammer. Like the whole time, he's like, yeah, we love mini games and tactical games. I really liked to paint my minis during the pandemic, and we thought we would make a minis game, not Warhammer. Oh, fuck. Like that whole interview was hilarious.
Moonbreaker, Unknown
Don't
Worlds.
say Warhammer. And you look at it for 5 seconds and you're like, oh yeah, you should not say Warhammer because they are going to come at you if you do.
Oh man, okay,
this is the most
I'm looking
legally
at it now.
distinct thing.
Okay. That's still though. That's a fun idea, and also like way to save money on animations.
I think the animations are super charming. Like there's one where a guy does like a spin attack, and it's literally just a model just spinning in place.
Yeah, the little toy spinning around. Yeah,
it's adorable.
No, that's fun.
But yeah, no, Gamescom was terrible. It was absolutely awful. I should have used that 2.5 hours that I streamed it to play with my island in FF14, but instead I covered the game industry, which is supposedly my job, and it was a mistake.
Another live game show, another complete waste of time, utterly. But hey, did people tune in? Did they show up?
Yeah.
All right, well, there you go. Hi. Hello. Welcome.
Also, I think the funniest announcement out of that is Kojima shows up to announce he's got a podcast coming to Spotify in Japanese and English. And I saw some folks going like, oh yeah, Kojima podcast, yay, fucking rip CSB. And I'm like, you motherfuckers did not read that guy's blog. Okay? Kojima is long-winded and rambling, and the story doesn't go anywhere you want it to go, and he is a writer. He is not a talker.
I hope he destroys this podcast. Rip CSB, absolutely. I will be the first one on board. I can't wait. That sounds awesome. There's going to be industry segments with Keeley as well.
Oh, I'm sure.
So that's a thing I'm looking forward to. What was also the double fucking surprise announcement there is the Sakurai YouTube channel about creating games and game design, which Sakurai on creating games, which he just announced as well, unaffiliated with Nintendo, shot in the same style as his Smash From Home Direct or From Home Smash things. Super cool. I'm very excited about that. I like that idea of just taking concepts that are, either known if you're a designer or maybe not as well known or not as well thought about, small little things, and just kind of putting a spotlight on them. And you can see,
please subscribe.
Yeah. You can see that like he's the kind of person that like frets over the tiniest aspects of like juice in game design, feeling, reward, all of that stuff. So that's a fun announcement as well. I'm looking forward to that. And I'm looking forward to the contrast between what he is describing as brevity in the topics. He's aiming for 5 to 6 minute long videos talking about whatever subject, versus Kojima coming in and breaking 6 hours on every episode as he goes into the lunch he had and what that might mean in game.
Like, I still remember to this day, like the fucking the resentment of his old leather jacket in the fall.
Oh yeah, the jacket.
And how that was thousands of words. And I don't even know anything other than he missed his old jacket. Like that was the totality of it.
Like, y'all motherfuckers are acting like you're not about to get a 10-part series on gourds. The history of gourds in life. That was not a character in Death Stranding. That was an excuse for him to dump knowledge he was waiting to dump.
Can we get Kojima and Tim Rogers and Urikoshi to do a fucking podcast where they talk about conspiracy theories? Please?
At that point, you can't possibly put a time limit on it. It has to be a 24/7 live stream that just has them showing up and talking when they feel like it and walking away when they feel like it.
Because that's like Kojima's like, I'm thinking of using this historical conspiracy theory in my new game, and Urikoshi goes, yeah, no, that one's real, but it was aliens. And then Tim Rogers tells a 4-hour story about how he needed to rent out his car, but the guy only showed up with foreign money, and then at the end of it said, oh, by the way, my uncle was part of that CIA program and it wasn't aliens. It's Uchikoshi. I'm thinking of a different guy. I'm thinking of the guy who wrote them animes.
Kotaro Uchikoshi.
Yeah, my bad. And then they'll all kiss.
I love the idea of just you tune in and you catch whatever you can for as long as you possibly can, and then you die of exhaustion and then tap out. and he's still sitting there and he keeps going. And Jeff is politely just sitting he's in one frame, and Jeff is just sitting there politely not saying anything, just enjoying and taking it in.
I like you've done the Kojima watch for long enough and absorbed enough of his content and seen enough interviews and talk with people who know him. You will be excited for this podcast because it's going to have like long sequences of I don't know what he's talking about. I really don't. Why are we talking about the growing season in Uruguay as a result of the scientific advancement from Germany? We're talking Hitler's still alive? Is that what we're talking about? All right.
I'm looking forward to, and I also am not envious of his translator, and the just I hope we get to hear the live pauses and can you say that again in a different way?
I was under the assumption that what's going to happen is that they're going to put out the full Japanese podcast, and then a translator or multiple translators are going to translate the whole thing, and then recreate it at a later date as if it were themselves.
I thought he said simultaneously.
Yeah, but I thought that meant simultaneous release.
Oh, possibly. Yeah, that makes sense then. I know that's what the Sakurai channel is doing. So that's cool. Yeah, and in the meanwhile, again on Sakurai's channel, he's just like, yo, you know when like you punch a guy and then it pauses for like half a second? That pause makes the punch feel good.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching.
It does. Did you know if you put 2 frames of frame stop on a game at 60 FPS, you can make punches feel 3 times harder? Hideaki Itsuno knows that because he put it into Devil May Cry 3 because everything felt too fluid until you added 2 frames of hit stop on every sword slash.
Can't wait. Yeah, so those are like actual legitimately fun announcements that came from Gamescom, mind you. Yeah, I mean, I'm scrolling down the rest of this list, and like that's it, right? Like we're good. There's not.
Yeah, no, we're good. We're genuinely good.
Okay, all right.
Like people are sitting down, going like, "Oh man, Gamescom happened and some other stuff. This is going to be the longest podcast ever." No. No. So what you do with your week, man? What's up in the Wooly versus Land?
Well, I was just gonna say, Lies of P still looks like Bloodborne at home, but but you know, again, like at least it was a game that we got to see, and combat seems like it could be interesting. So, that is now, so that's a kind of like looks like a Souls-like on the horizon, perhaps not necessarily if it doesn't have a corpse run, but in combat and aesthetic and feel. There's another one that I saw just dropped, and I forget what it was called, but it had like a main character with like a large beak, with like it looked like a plague mask, and they had like a scythe, I think.
Thymesia?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that came out this week.
Yeah. Took a look. I didn't play it, but I saw the trailer for that, and I was like, oh, okay, that looks interesting. But I'm also concerned because after Mortal Shell, I'm like, Mortal Shell wasn't bad, but it's not a waste of time in some ways. So I just want to make sure before I like sit down and commit too much to anything like that it's not a complete like burn. Did you touch it at all?
I have
or?
not.
Okay.
I've not. Probably gonna fuck with it next week.
Okay. Yeah. It sucks because I wish I could like Mortal Shell, as short as it was, like if you could salvage the best bits of it by slicing it in half. It's a super short game, and like you could make it better by making it even shorter. So anyway, so I am back.
Lords of the Fallen 2's coming out though, man. Oh, who gives a shit?
I'm back from Toronto, and that happened. And what can I say except for, well, to be honest, what the friends we went to go see there had a very nice neighborhood and got a very nice house, and I was quite impressed. I was like, oh, this is a nice place that's not too dry, repetitive suburban kind of area. There's some corners of that large Greater Toronto area, the GTA. Although I've heard the term for the first time, the GTHA, so the Greater Toronto and Hamilton area.
Oh, gross! It's extended out into Hamilton now.
I've heard that, and I was like, what? What the fuck? But anyway, that there was a spot or two that was interesting, and so I was kind of describing this to Reggie yesterday, but we basically got to enjoy the fun of renting an Airbnb and then pulling up to it and finding out that it's, once you open the front door to the place, it's actually 2 apartments where another person in Airbnb that's Airbnb-ing is staying, and you're sharing that space with a common front. And that's happened before, and I've had that before with like basically like a group of like partying like loud kids, and it's like, okay, I whatever, the noise is not great depending on how late it is, but I don't, it's like if I rent an Airbnb fucking on spring break in Cancun, I'm not going to be surprised if the noisy neighbors are like having parties and whatever. So that's not a big deal. That's happened before in the past. But this time though, it was fantastic and a really good sign when we pulled up, and as I arrived at the door, the key that you put in the password to get the key to open the thing.
Yeah.
And the key's not there. And I'm like, okay.
Oh, good.
So that's a good start. All right, no key there. Looking around.
Immediate point of failure.
Oh yeah, looking around, trying to find it, finding some other backup key or whatever. Nothing applies, nothing works. Okay, cool, got no key. Perfect. So someone is standing nearby that's on the porch there, and I'm kind of like, hey, I don't know, do you know, are you guys staying in the other door or something? And they're like, oh, I'm just a friend of the person staying in the other one. I guess you guys are in the first apartment. And I was like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, so I don't know, I can't find a key. I don't know, I'll ask Punch Bomb to like ask the owner to see if they've got it or if they've misplaced it or whatever. But maybe the other person has it, and then they're like, oh, I'll just go check. So we're waiting around, and they go up.
Sure.
And then, sure enough, come back down and go, oh, yeah, no, so sorry. They opened it, and they took both keys. They took all the keys they saw, opened their door, and just kept them. So that's great.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
they
okay.
thought it was for them.
Yeah, even though there's a 1 and then there's a 2. But, that's cool. Just whatever, no big deal, right? Great. Yeah. Thank you. We get lucky because you were standing here waiting to get in. If this were any other time of day, who knows what the fuck we would have done. So wonderful.
So the guy comes down with the keys, right? And he's got the key in his hand. And he's like, oh, is this your key? And he goes, okay, here. Oh, well, it's like here you go. Here's your key, sir.
Lovely.
Here.
Yeah. So anyway, get in. Places there, whatever. That's all fine. And just a wonderful establishing start, because the next day, have a good time coming back. Full day on my feet, so very tired. Much like rest is needed at some 2 a.m. or so. Getting back home, and going to open the door, and hey, look, the door's locked, right? The front door. It's like, okay, cool. So
Good.
what's all right? Now there's a deadbolt, which we have one of the keys for on the front, and then there's the inside, like the apartment door. So there's 2 keys, whatever. Deadbolt turn, not working. Okay, what's up with that?
Oh,
well, the deadbolt is a lock, but then underneath that there's the outside door handle with a little twist on the back with its own little lock, and then a big ass piece of duct tape with a "don't fucking turn this" thing on it on the back, which someone decided to pull the duct tape off and turn, effectively locking us out at 2 a.m. Can't get in to our shit.
Which means there's only one recourse here.
We try the other recourses. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you bothered.
Cue many attempts. Cue a simultaneous contacting of the owner, who again waking up in the middle of the night to try and figure this problem. It's your fucking problem. Walking around literally to the back, holding up my flashlight in the back, shining it through the back door, which looks wonderful. I'm sure everyone around is super not suspicious at a random person walking around, shining their light, jiggling at the back door, trying to force it open. But no.
Yeah, that looks great.
Yeah.
That looks great.
Fortunately, I left it locked when I was back there inside earlier in the day, so that doesn't work.
Good.
So 45 minutes, perhaps an hour goes by of like, are we going to have to call a locksmith? Are we going to have to get sleep in the car, call a cousin? I don't know.
I'm going to assume the attempt to bang on the door and go, open the fucking door was attempted.
No good. Hammering on the doorbell the entire time to the point of just leaning on it, to which it seems it must like either it's not working or who the fuck knows, right? Looking for signs of life upstairs, whatever. I don't know. Who knows what's going on? If they walked out and did that, they locked themselves out too, like idiots. Great. So it's entirely possible that could be the case. But either way, no signs of success. Nothing's working. And it's like, okay, am I just gonna like basically yank the back door open and break the lock at this point? What are we doing here, right? And eventually the owner's like, okay, check the windows around the side, the front, see if there's anything.
Yeah, break in.
So we check the front window.
Through the window.
Front window, the big one is locked because we locked it on the way out, and the side one as well that was there. And then
safety.
A small one, which is like tiny locker sized, over to the side is cracked for ventilation. Punch Mom can get her fingers in, lift them, go up, and then contortionist her way through to get inside the fucking apartment and save the day, which I couldn't do if I was on my own because there's no way I'm fitting through a window of that size.
Yeah, you're a big guy. There's no fucking way.
So she has to fucking, again, break into the house from the front, going through the side window, and then we open the door. So fucking awesome. Just great experience with that.
Excellent. Excellent day.
So immediately over to the door of the second people, just punching get the fuck down here. What is going on? No answer, no sign, no nothing. It's whatever in the morning. Who the fuck cares? You idiots. What is wrong with you? Right?
Yeah.
How stupid do you have to be? You know what? You have to be stupid enough to have to take the keys and keep them to begin with, to then come back and turn the wrong lock on the thing by pulling the duct tape off and getting
I know. So it's like I can't lock. How do I? Maybe if I pull it.
So whatever that is, there's a point where stupidity turns to negligence, and or not negligence, rather stupidity and negligence turns into malicious, intent. Because
it always goes the same way. This could be stupid. This is negligent. This is so negligent that it's malicious, regardless of intent.
So, no answer, no nothing. We're just fucking pissed, and we're like, fuck it, go to bed. And it's like, all right, we'll find out tomorrow morning, because we're going to talk to these people and ask them what the fuck is wrong with them. And sure enough, as we get up because we're checking out because checkout's around 11, and they very quietly sneak out well before that, just completely avoiding any confrontation whatsoever. And
that's good.
Owners come back and we're like, were you able to call them? Because you have the phone number, you send them messages, you can contact these people.
Yeah.
And every front, they didn't answer, they didn't reply, they didn't acknowledge anything. So at that point you're like, oh, you fucked up, and your move is, let's just pretend nothing happened and get the fuck out of here like a good responsible person.
Here's the exact sequence of events, right? Drunk, high, headphones, earplugs, whatever, right? All attempts to communicate were just not available, but they were there. They wake up, pull their phone out, see, like, I don't know, in this guy's situation, like 25 missed calls and like 20 messages that are all, open up the fucking door, you stupid morons. Realize what has occurred, and there's only one situation. There's only one thing to do, and that is to run away.
Run away. Just completely
run away.
Do not confront, do not make eye contact, do not make a sound. Get the fuck out. Right?
You can only run.
So, just like livid with because that's the part where I'm like, I'm mad when you're an idiot and you don't think, like, I don't know how you fucking made it. I don't know how you breathe, but here you are. You've gotten to this point, and you're too stupid to fucking understand how to handle a door with somebody else that has to open it with you. Okay, fine. But when your whole thing is you that is pointed out to you, and your next step is run away from the problem, you're like, that sends me into like fucking, I see white. Like, I get so angry at that type of shit. So the owners then show up, and I mean, look, they're very apologetic. They're like, sorry, this hasn't happened. And I'm like, you put tape on the door, I'm sure something must, but anyway, so you say. And they're like, yeah, like, we'll give you the, again, money back for the night and all that stuff. And I'm just like, and like, if you come stay again, we'll even, and I'm like, no, I don't even care about that point, because
I just want to yell at them.
Because the thing is that like, like, those people deserve the fucking fullest wrath, but it's like, the owner here, it's like, your system should be dummy proof, and you shouldn't have two people that don't know each other that have to go into this place, which is not advertised as a split property, mind you, but whatever. You shouldn't have them having their keys together in the same lockbox where one can fuck with the other like that, right? Worse, what if they're complete pieces of shit who would take our keys and could go into our fucking place and go take whatever, rummage through, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's completely at the whims at that point. So, like, at bare minimum, your dummy-proof system should be having two separate lockboxes from each other where that can't happen, and not having a lock like that, which, again, one person can, through sheer stupidity, lock me out in the middle of the fucking night. And essentially, like, if I can't sleep in the bed I paid for, what the fuck am I doing here? You know? So, anyway.
You're enjoying that wonderful Toronto hospitality.
That was fucking something. And then, minor fucking note after that was, when we were parking in the area, because the way parking works in Montreal is kind of like, you can look and see.
A nightmare.
It's a nightmare, but you can look on the app and you can look at the signs and the warning and see a thing that says, hey, tomorrow they're filming fucking Scream 5 or some shit. Or, they're doing a bicycle, marathon. So we're gonna close this area down or whatever. Apparently, you don't really get that in Toronto necessarily. You just get like the parking areas are just kind of shut down, and then the streets are clear to park. And then you wake up the next morning and you go, and then the streets are blocked off, and like all the little gates are up, and people are just doing like a promenade. And you're like, did we get towed? Because this is now just a walking street. And we didn't get towed. We're just parked in the middle of people walking around. And I guess Toronto's move is, yeah, just get in your car and try not to hit anybody, and also move one of those fences out of the way and hope for the best.
just crawl your way out.
You know? So it's like, so I'm now basically working as a street traffic controller, holding people back and going, wait, as we have to curve through, and then like get someone to move the fence aside and pull out. And I'm just like, what is happening, man?
So what I'm gathering here from our recent past is that traveling to New Brunswick, great. Traveling to Ontario, not great. Traveling to BC, great. Only a couple more provinces to go, and we'll have a whole country of thumbs ups and thumbs downs.
I mean, I will say that like what'll cheer me up is on the way back between Ontario and Quebec, there's the Big Apple store, which is basically an apple farm that makes like ciders and pies and apple breads and apple butters and all kinds of amazing things. And you can I just fucking ran a tornado through that place, and that's
fantastic.
That's the only way to cheer up, you know. But that's like. And the thing is, too, is we're gonna fucking get the review going on that, and it's like, I understand they were apologetic, and I understand they tried or whatever, but I'm sorry, man. Like, this is a fucking bullshit thing that you should have a system for. Like, we're gonna kind of have to blast you on the review on this. Like, that's horseshit.
You should write the review as such. Because of issues with door locks and keys, I was unfortunately murdered in this establishment and am going to be haunting it for the next several years.
I mean, if any neighbors saw me looking through the window with my phone light and then saw her going through climbing and were madly suspicious about that.
Oh, it looks sketchy as hell.
They would be right. They would absolutely be right to call people to fucking try and figure out what was going on. Like I couldn't blame them. So anyway, that was Toronto to some degree, but hey, again, I got my cider and I got my apple pie and my apple bread, and that's tasty and good.
That's good.
Beyond that, what did we do? So came back in, got a few sessions of our various games. Well, there's this, certainly. Wooly versus the Algorithm has launched and doing pretty good. Seems to be all right.
The algorithm is taking some hits.
The algorithm is taking damage, and I can prove it because as I've described,
you get tons of data on that. Like,
I've described to Reggie that this is an ongoing battle. This is going to take a while. We're on phase 1, but we're holding our DPS. We're standing in the right places to avoid getting wiped, and what I'm getting back from people in terms of, so the numbers are fine. That's good. Everyone is tuning into everything and watching it to completion, and that's good. And YouTube likes that. And here's how much YouTube likes that. Not only are people who are subscribed seeing it pop up on their recommended videos when they open up YouTube.
Nice.
People who are not subscribed, but are subscribed peripherally to like either of us or anything else like this, are seeing those videos pop up in their recommends. And that means YouTube really likes you. So
people like this.
It's
people like Clussy Stocks Rising with a picture of chicken nuggets.
Yep. Doing damage.
I'm not clicking on that.
That's fine. Shout out to Bouncy Clown.
I feel it.
Yeah. No, we are seeing before our very eyes the damage being done, and it's working. And I think like of course the there's like some funny bits in terms of like thresholds and shorts and the way they are set up. But like shorts in particular are so fucking half thought out, dude, because they just kind of reacted and said, we want a TikTok thing, go now.
Want to do that TikTok, bro.
But when you put a thumbnail on it, the thumbnail only applies when it's listed in horizontal search results, and anything where it's showing it to you vertically, that there is no thumbnail for it. So the chicken nuggets so you see are because you're not seeing the thumbnail that was put on the fucking thing, because it doesn't know how to handle that. And furthermore, depending on whether you're watching it on your phone, on whatever format, different amounts of the bottom of the screen are cut off. And but they also don't like recommend normally to people because again of that, it's so fucking half thought out, you know. But whatever, we still do at least 1 or 2 a week. We're playing that game, we're seeing how it's going, and so far it goes well. Also, I'm appreciating that the dumbest of ideas is getting life and coming to fruition. And someone pointed out in a comment that the game that used to be played with, like, especially like the bullshit from the old channel, the way we used to do shit, would be like playing a game of chicken and like dancing close to the point where eventually someone's like, all right, fuck this, and bails out of the bit before it flies over the edge and like causes.
You mean Dignity Chicken?
Dignity Chicken, precisely. We play a game of Dignity Chicken.
Paige is incredible. Oh, Paige came out that years ago. What an incredible name for all of these types of things. Oh.
Reggie does not play Dignity Chicken. He doesn't engage at all. So what happens is I attempt to begin a game of Dignity Chicken, and then he gives me nothing, and then I attempt to double down on myself.
No, you can't. It has to be 2 ways.
And it doesn't work. So then I'm now quadrupling down on my own shit. and I'm getting nothing back. So that
like, it doesn't like the Dignity Chicken bit works here because my wife, who I see 23 and a half hours a day, you can't not. There's always more, right? But you don't live with Reggie. You don't know his deepest, darkest ball secrets to throw at him when he doesn't want to play.
So,
right?
As a result, we get fucking shorts, like we get clips like the Batarians have crossed the thin blue line.
Yeah, they have.
And at which point, I don't even know what I'm saying anymore by the end of the video. But, like, Reggie's just like, keep going, bro, keep going. Yep, whatever you say, man. And I'm like, ah! And of course, by enhancing these bits with visuals accompanying bells and whistles and little calls like, hey, that part's pretty funny, but you know what it needs? A picture of Kamala Harris right there.
Yeah, no,
I get to sniper scope nail down.
So you're describing the wonderful world. I don't know if anybody knows this, but of yes and, right? The wonderful world of yes and, which you know about obviously, but for those who don't, it's like when you're going on a wild tangent or an improv bit. You work with the other person. Instead of going no but, you say yes and you're going on a violent police race angle bit and turn to Reggie, and he doesn't even give you no but. He just goes, yeah. And then you have to yes and yourself.
I have to yes and myself. And this has led to some very, very unhinged moments.
Very strange.
Which, to be honest, I've often forgot about the moment we stopped recording, only to have them, like, clipped and returned and shown back to me as like, hey, why don't we highlight this? And I go, oh, fuck, I said what? So, yeah, that's starting to pop up now. And it's interesting. It's interesting seeing what happens when... Yeah, you play Dignity Chicken with yourself, you know. So that's
just me. It's just me. Remember that time I did this? And this other time that and the Batarians, I can't believe that. Oh man, you need to kill every Batarian you see. I'm gonna be really honest. You just shoot first.
I mean, there's a point we're hitting now where I'm kind of like, should we just can you just Control F and replace the word slaver with Batarian across the entire script?
Yes.
Because it feels as if that's what they want you to do.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. They only realized their mistake halfway through Mass Effect 3, where they realized they have made like entire races of evil monsters. And you're like, what? But oops.
So we continued our Mass Effect session, of course, got a little bit further, pushing into that. And man, okay, well, for starters, we got to I'm happy that because we got Grunt, and I'm happy that what was started and kind of half-assed on Vermeer is now being readdressed here, because Vermeer in 1 was kind of like, hey, let's get into the idea of Krogan cloning and wild indoctrination, but it's just fodder for you to shoot at while you get to Saren to do the big showdown.
And it's fodder for a personal dilemma, not an ethical or moral one.
And I'm like, motherfucker, I want to go into these lab files and see what's going on. I want to have conversations about this. So I'm really happy that coming back in, you have that going on. Let's take another look at this idea of like Krogan cloning and bring Morden with us and see how this plays out, and just get right into the midst of war crimes inside of your war crimes.
Oh yeah. So the Krogan genophage is the series' most dramatic slam dunk in terms of a sci-fi idea, in which it is like the worst thing anyone has ever done. But what else were they gonna do?
Yes, right. When like, because people that are like angry at me whenever I'm talking about like, oh, fuck Batarians, but like, oh man, poor Krogans or whatever, that are like, obviously, it's like, guys, anytime you're talking about which pile of bodies has less people in it as a solution, like, that's a good moral dilemma. That's well done. And it's very clear here, and I want to go further into it and see how you can elaborate, because it's fascinating. And so far with this step, we just met Okir, and we got his little bit. So where it takes it a step further into his point of view, which is like, not even fuck the genophage, but like, let's go beyond it, you know?
So I want to point out that the genophage is genuinely fascinating from an ethical perspective in terms of a writing style, because they jumped over the hurdle. Because if it's just about which solution has more corpses, right, which is limit Krogans to their own planet or kill them or whatever, that's one thing, right? And they go, okay, we have a reproductive solution. They'll just make less Krogan, right? They'll make 1,000 times less Krogan. Wow. And if that was all it was portrayed in game, it would actually be not very complex at all, right? It would be like, well, this was not your right to interfere in this species' is, you know, personal biology. It's an invasion. But where it gets really ethically fucked is that it doesn't mean they have 1,000% or they have 999 failures to conceive.
Yes.
It means out of 1,000, they have 999
stillbirths, which is so much more brutal. And that's why the nihilism kicks in, because you get, like, dead babies is the norm now. It is super just like stifling emotionally. And that specific detail is like a really fucking, does that make it,
and it gets
brutal?
It is this really like depressing like you run into a bunch of Krogan dickhead mercenaries who are clearly just willing to do anything and they don't care. It's like, yeah, you probably have 300 dead kids. You have totally given up on the future of your species.
Racial nihilism is the only way to go on that. Yeah. Unless you know, there's other things, but it's super interesting. And then it's like, well, yes, but whereas that is the weird, dark, gentle genocide, the things they were doing beforehand were just actual genocide.
Active, straight up, yeah.
So then you're like, yes.
they were recruited to actively genocide a different alien race. That's why you guys gave them guns and spaceships.
And then the Turians were pulled in to do the same and contain. You know, So like that's the meat and potatoes, and I'm really happy to see that we're zooming back in on that, because for all the games like abandoning of the RPG stuff and the lining it up to be a shooter and all that, you don't want to lose touch of that lore juice. And it's very easy for a game that is this much more straightforward, much more like small driven, get to do the thing, you know, in its scope. I want to make sure that I'm glad to see that the small mission driven things we're doing are still revealing the world in an interesting way.
Yeah.
Because
all that stuff also feeds into like human centrism, in that like every alien you run into is like, well, we've been running the Citadel for thousands of years, and the Asari and the Turian are so advanced, and you humans just got to space, and you don't even have a unified planet. And it's like, yeah, but you're doing this shit out here. Are you serious?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, I think that like, and so a little bit of the concern was like going into this Ocean's 11 style romp, that the you might put the world building on a back seat for that, and they did, but you then are getting these moments, right, like that discussion with Okir, and then of course Grunt, and then also landing on the Citadel, having this really tonally jarring moment where Kasumi, I keep saying Toto, but it's Goto. Kasumi Toto is from fucking King of Fighters.
Okay, I'll help you remember. Do you know why it's Kasumi Goto?
Why?
Because of the robotic party member in KOTOR 2 named Goto.
Oh, okay, cool. It's a reference. Got it. Well,
same thing with Tali has a little drone that she says go for the eyes, just like the hamster in Baldur's Gate.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, that moment happens, and then the rest of landing on the Citadel is just sit and catch up with the lore. Walk around the shops and listen to the commercials and catch up with the lore. And you know, I'm like, thank you for just giving me this continue to world build, continue to show me how depressing it is that in 2 years since the Reapers have fucking made a threat, shit all has happened. That's good. I love that. Love that motivation we're seeing.
Like you run into people who are like, Reapers? What Reapers? I'm like, you live on the Citadel.
Yeah.
They find the biggest spaceship that's ever existed attacked the fucking White House of space.
I mean, the dumbest
you saw it.
The dumbest part is that like your official cover-up story is like, oh no, that was just some crazy Geth shit. And it's like, okay, but even if you're believing in that version of events, the fact that that's some crazy Geth shit that can break into the White House of space and do that should still have you on high alert.
Are you not worried about that? That was nuts.
Yeah. So that's some fucking ridiculous shit. And then so I went and I met K-Dog. And I was like, yo, K-Dog, what's good, bruh? How you been? And K-Dog's like, meh. And I'm like, I know. It's been rough. Obviously, it's understandable that Caden would be fucking, you know, hurt and upset at the, you know, the shock of you being alive.
I mean, also, you were with him on those Cerberus missions where you found them doing all that evil shit.
Depending on your background, right? Yeah.
Okay, whatever. He was on the ship. He knew you went on that trip. He saw the report.
But then, like, you have that initial point of, like, fair enough, right? And then the conversation goes on, and it's like, okay, but just talk, though. Explain that you're dead and alive only in that the black market has rebuilt you. And also...
I'm basically RoboCop right now.
And he's like, meh. And it's like, okay, I hear you, but Lannister betrayals don't really matter that much when winter is coming. See?
Right.
And he's like, and I'm like, oh my God. I was like...
Big picture here, Caden. Big picture. Come on.
Legitimately excited to see you. and like get the old gang back together and start the ball rolling again. And fuck off, dude. I kind of hate it now. So
I'm gonna give you a pro tip right now. Cadence like going like is one thing, but having your now ex get up in your shit for not being around when you were dead is a whole nother fucking world.
Right. Okay. Yeah. And to be fair, it's like, look, it's been 2 years, but you haven't been alive for 2 years. You got up 2 weeks ago, you know? Fucking.
It is unironically, how come you never called? I was dead. Yeah, so what?
Oh my God. Oh. Because I just I joked and I was like, so like, please tell, like, can we imagine an alternate reality where Ashley is like, hey, what's up? Hey, let's get back on board. Let's do it. You know, and like, it seems that ain't the case necessarily, but fuck, dude.
They extra fucked themselves because Ashley would have joined up with Cerberus without you.
To get the job done.
Well, no, because humans.
Yes.
Human-centric, terra firma.
Human supremacy. I'm sad because I was like, hey, right? I had one of those, because like, yo, the Archangel moment, come on, that's so fucking good, right? And I'm gearing up for a little bit of that, and he's walking away, shuffling off like an asshole, and I'm like, well, fuck you. You've been demoted from K-Dog to Karth, so you're Karth now. Fuck off.
Yeah, he starts off as Space Karth, becomes K-Dog. Never heard that myself, but I get it. Back to Space Karth.
So that bummed me out. But whatever. We'll move on. We got new people.
That mission's great.
Yeah.
That mission goes like, oh, it's an unknowable problem. What could happen to, oh, this is a big, big problem. This is a really astonishingly bad scene.
Also, here's your bad guy. Mind Jack.
Okay, so.
Assuming direct control.
Wooly, I have been waiting 15 years to talk to you about Harbinger.
Harbinger.
Okay? I've been waiting decades to talk to you about Harbinger.
Damn.
And the phrase, this hurts you, Shepard. Okay? Harbinger is cool. He's always enough. But Harbinger completely ruins the best conversation in Mass Effect 1 when you talk to Sovereign. And he is so far above you.
Mm-hmm.
Talking to you is a joke.
Mm-hmm.
I am so far above your pitiful flesh and bone. You fumble in ignorance.
You exist
I'm so
because
far
we
beyond
permit it.
Yeah, I'm so far beyond your comprehension. I do not even whatever. But does this hurt you, Shepard? Does this hurt your feelings? Did I give you a boo-boo, Shepard? It's like.
Yeah, well, you know, we'll see. We'll see as we do it, but I've encountered Harbinger, and look, he even said the line, right? So I am we are the vanguard of your destruction. I am the harbinger of your whatever, your boo boos. You know, and they're like, oh yeah, you said it. But we're
also having a Reaper like that you can talk to and fight on even tangent, like even 2 steps removed, really fucks up because like. He'll come in and be like, this will destroy you, Shepard, as you, like, insta-no-scope the guy he's controlling and he disintegrates before his voice line is even finished. And you're... it's just, like, all that threat just falls off.
And so the thing, of course, is now... And this is kind of, like, becoming a bit of a... I suppose an expected thing, but now anytime they're like, okay, so collectors are here, so we're gonna learn about collectors and what they are. When we learn about, they introduced what at the same time they introduced not Prothean. What was the word? There was the thing that has all the Geth heads in its mouth, and
Revenant? Is that what that's called? I fucking forget.
No.
Praetorian?
Praetorians, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, so like this is one of the only series where like a random monster can drop in and like attack you, and you're like, okay, but what does it eat though? Where does its people come from? What builds this? What built this thing? Who made it? Where did it, like? And it's just like when you're shooting the Thresher Maws in Mass Effect 1, you're like, okay, you're a dumb worm monster for points and XP, but how did you get here? It's like, oh, you can space travel and land on planets and seed, and and so I'm like, it's Mass Effect. I have to ask these questions every time we see something,
It's techie and talky. Why is this here? Well, because blah 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 space blah 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 tachyons blah blah blah. Why do why do the Reapers have a monster made out of a million heads that screams? Because it's scary. Because it's scary.
And then
that's the.
And then just God bless whatever junior game designer writer was given the task of writing up the lore on how the scanning tech works and why scans and probes are a thing, much like the reloading system that was retrofitted on every gun. It's like, this is just, you had to say something about it. I get it, but this is the dumbest codex entry ever.
So I can tell you in our real universe answer for heat sinks versus thermal clips.
Well, yeah, we talked about it. It's the fucking
yeah.
EA is gonna come in and fucking like, we're making the shoot bank. Shut up.
Yeah, no, but deeper than that, they wanted to have both systems in Mass Effect 2. They wanted to have the gun cooldown, but you could use a thermal clip to cool it down instantly, and thermal clips would be very rare. But they couldn't get the amounts correct. It was always unbalanced.
Oh, that would have been so much more interesting if there was.
And it would have been a lot more consistent with the game's description of the way guns work.
If guns continued to exist the way they did, and then a second category of guns that were ammo limited but had different utility, that would have been a way smarter way to do it.
Yeah, they couldn't get it to work right, and so much like every other gameplay idea in Mass Effect 2, well, it's not working.
Fuck it.
Cut it.
Yeah. Okay. So that's proper interesting so far, and it is shocking how popular Garrus is on that ship. That motherfucker is getting emails from Chloe and Kelly, aka Faster Than Light Kelly, FTL Kelly, we're calling her, is inquiring, and it's just like, yo, one Turian shows up and all heads are turning all of a sudden.
Kelly's all right, man. Kelly's all right.
She's all right, but I also have some concerns. I mean, Jack arrived, and she basically almost immediately was just like, okay, so this is what the breakdown is on Jack's is sexually, or whatever that conversation was. And I'm like, did you already get in there?
Nah, man. She's a ship psychiatrist, man. She's supposed to monitor everybody's mental health.
Sure, of course.
Through their genitals.
There we go.
Hey, man, she's an open-minded free spirit in a fucking world full of monster men.
Kelly's an odd one. And then there's there's just one-liners that Mordin delivers when he's busy that are like hilarious, and that range from hilarious to deeply concerning. Like, no time to talk. I'm working on you guys all have like cyanide pills, but I'm working on a better version. It's much better to put a flashbang behind the eyes. And it's like, that's hilarious.
Yeah. So
right.
I think Mordin's the best character in Mass Effect. He's the most interesting and most nuanced character, and because his character deals with so many of the larger issues, he's the best one. And he also, in Mass Effect 2, does the best job of straddling that line of like,
you hang out with Morton and he's quippy and he's your friend and he helps you and that's really great. He's a bad person.
Oh yeah, no, we're defending Genophage like in every conversation, and the only thing that is pushing past that point is, God damn it, winter's coming. Fuck it, like that's it.
But he is a really really astonishingly bad person. And he is smart enough that he can make his case.
But
you're like,
the wiping out of all sentient life is still worse than whatever the fuck conversations we're gonna have with the people here. So this is it, But like, yeah, so that's, you have that little quip, and then we check back in at one point, and he's like, studying weird breakout of Varan STDs that could only have been transmitted via human contact, and you're like, what? Excuse me?
you got a dog fucker on your ship, boy. You got a dog fucker on your ship. Period.
So then me and Reggie are just like,
that's what's going on.
Kelly? What the fuck?
You don't know. You don't know. It could be anybody. Could be anybody.
Could be anybody.
Could be those losers down in the engineering department. You don't know.
Scotty and Scotty? Yes.
Yep.
Could be Scotty and Scotty. Anyways, so good times. That's a fun romp. So that, yes, Mass Effect 2 continuing, of course. Dead Space, good shit. Not much to say. Loving it. Also, just really, like, that's, so I enjoyed that first boss fight. Like I said, I enjoyed the brute fights. That was well done. Thing still holds up. That sequence where you hop outside on the asteroid in the 0G is fucking great. Yeah, just all in all, a fantastic, fun romp. And it makes me think about game design bits quite a good amount.
So you finished Dead Space 1?
No. We're still going. We're not done yet.
Okay. Where you at? I'm curious.
I think chapter.
Because I don't want to fuck anything up.
I think chapter 9. So basically, we just saw Hammond do Hammond's Last Stand, and we got past that, and I think took out the asteroid and then the other tentacle creature, and somewhere around there, some I think chapter 9. So there's an I don't want to spoil too much, but like, of the upcoming videos we have for Wooly versus the Algorithm, there's a fucking brilliant one in the works, and if I can just spoil the concept a little bit for people, the Chad node versus the Virgin Stone Sword key.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. The node is better.
Unbelievable how excited you get every time you see one. Joy and elation.
You're pretty deep in the game, so I think you figured this out already, but I'm going to give you a little tiny tip. Every door that you can open with a node has a node behind it.
Always do it. Every time.
100% of the time. Sometimes it has 2 nodes behind it.
Like, at worst, it's a fucking, it's cash, it opens a door, and it's just powering up your wife. Like, it's the best. It's such a good thing, and you're always happy to see one. Again, versus fucking up the excitement of a purple item in a game as long as Elden Ring. But on that note, so yeah, Dead Space continues over on the channel on Wooly Versus, and the best of Elden Ring is out. Civ did a fucking incredible job with the trilogy. Check them out. The entire adventure boiled down into 3 movies that are 2.5 hours each, essentially.
Thanks, man. I will.
Say again?
I said thank you, man. I will.
Yes. Okay. I see. I see. Yeah, I had a feeling that was coming. All right, yeah, the there's some fun little bits and edits and stuff put in that'll be a good time. God damn, what the fuck, man? This is gonna be so weird.
You know what's weird? Finding out that if you know how for some streamers when they get a bunch of gift subs they'll do a dance or they'll do the thing with the hot tub or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that you can just humiliate yourself by oinking like a fucking dirty pay pig and
Wow.
it'll still work?
Wow. No physicality required.
No, just humiliation.
You know,
Just sadness.
you could buy a little oinky nose.
I really could.
When you hit when a tier 3 pops up, you could just throw that on for a bit.
We'll just see how things work out, won't we? We'll just see what Amazon can and can't ship.
Well, anyway, I mean, you know, if I when discussing the prospect of reacting to content with Reggie, I believe at some point yesterday, the words "whatever, man, I'll spread my asshole if you need me to."
Yeah, that dude's a king. Clap for Reggie.
So I was just like, all right, okay.
That dude's a trooper.
Oh, shit. Anyway, so yeah, that's Wooly Versus. Check that out, and of course, please go take a look at Wooly Versus the Algorithm. You won't regret it. It's a lot of fun. And you know what? We've even got some fun shit popping up. Like there's some little fighting game content that I sprinkled in there too, of just some of the hype moments from getting to fighting games. A Fish Got Me into Vampire Savior just dropped as well. So get in there and tell us how you feel about Balut.
I don't. Nah. No, I'm good. No thanks. No thanks, man.
Okay, well, you know. Yeah.
All right. If you'll excuse me, Willie, before we continue, I need a short bathroom break.
That's fine.
I'll be back in
We
5
stan
minutes.
Reggie.
Excuse me.
You stan a Balut eater, fuckers. Okay, so what's up with you?
Okay, horror games. You hear about Mortuary Assistant?
Mortuary assistant. That sounds interesting.
It is. So originally I thought it was going to be like, ha ha ha. You are. It's like some goofy bullshit like surgery simulator or whatever. It's not. Play a character that is going to be a mortician, which means that you're going to be in body prep before funerals, being the embalming process, fixing the jaw, closing the eyes, that kind of thing. Except, turns out demons are real. They inhabit bodies. They will curse you. And you have to be going through the embalming process and corpse prepared process while also attempting to discover the demon that is haunting you's real name so that you can essentially banish it by burning it up while being constantly hallucinated at with jump scares.
Okay.
It's a fairly simple idea. It's actually
Phasmophobia style.
Yeah, that's executed extremely well because like you're having to look up like on Windows 98's like Netscape demon website in order to figure out like what the demon's true name is and shit like that. And it has randomized scares. So there's a couple hundred scare types, being your grandma trying to break through a window to when you use the computer, a weird shape just starts standing very close to you to noises, and it will jumble them up because when you beat the game, you then unlock like, well, go back to work tomorrow and do it again and get different outcomes where they will then randomize it. It's almost like a horror game roguelike.
Okay. Obviously, the juice comes from that still body that's in front of you. It shouldn't be doing that, and
and there's like literally a guy out of the corner of your vision, or things will appear or throw around, or you'll teleport to a nightmare dimension or what have you. It's actually very good. It's a really simple concept and it's executed absolutely excellently. And I would recommend it to anybody that likes scary, spooky horror games. I think it's great.
The Mortuary Assistant.
I think it's super.
That's unusual for the horror games that get brought up.
Yeah, no. So much like fighting games, 9 out of 10 horror games are trash. Just complete garbage. No, this one's excellent. The only other thing of note this week for Pat was yesterday's 14 patch 6.2, which the only real thing I want to say is that there is a slight mismatch in the type of content that sometimes they make for the audience that they have. So the biggest feature add this patch was that Animal Crossing style island sanctuary thing where you will build up like a little house and you'll basically play Stardew Valley within Final Fantasy XIV with all its own systems in a gigantic landmass, and it is wildly in depth,
which is
it is completely
what a lot of players kind of want to do anyway, right?
Right. And it is completely separated from every other in-game leveling or in-game economy thing. You're not making money out of it, but you're gathering and crafting stuff regardless of your existing gathering and crafting stuff. It's a totally separate thing, and they have said that they're going to be adding to it every 2 patches forever. So it's a major piece of content, and the whole idea is, hey man, do you want to play 14? And a character even almost says this to you. Do you want to play 14 but like just chill?
Socially.
Or do something while you're waiting for something or hang out with your buddies? Absolutely. Cool. So I wake up and for patch day at 7 a.m. Pacific. And I have multiple friends
in Island Sanctuary since 5 a.m. that day, going as hard as they can on it until they hit like the time like the point where the game goes, no, this will take 6 hours to build. And then they're like setting alarms to fucking hit that as soon as possible and trying to figure out the absolute fastest way they can unlock and like, yeah, this is what happens when you give the MMO audience a chill activity.
Yeah, well, just the irony of going hard on the chill thing for downtime purposes.
As hard as you can.
Oh boy. Okay. Yeah.
I bet you if I open up this Discord channel, there will be some kind of min-maxing Google Doc
spreadsheets.
in the Endwalker chat.
Are we already at spreadsheets on day one?
Today, 12:46 p.m. That's 30 hours after Island Sanctuary came out. Is the 3 tables that the rare spawns are pulled from: time, weather, and time. Here's the Google Doc for the rare spawns inside Island Sanctuary.
I mean,
and their coordinate locations.
This is identical to the fucking joke of like Office Dad going on vacation and then like pulling out the vacation planner and itemizing how vacation time will be spent and how many hours will be spent lounging, how many will be spent in the water as opposed to sandcastles. You know,
there's really some, I don't know what to call this, but there's really some kind of almost haunted house aesthetic of me going into that Discord channel to check. And when I closed the Reddit window that it opened, saw a friend of mine going, "Get out of here, Pat, shut up," from 30 seconds ago.
Stop looking. Yeah.
Like, yeah, no, like, yeah, no, MMO players, like they're a different fucking breed. Like they need the spreadsheet. They need the optimal.
Need it.
Because like, and it's incredibly useful and friendly because I'm gonna do Island Sanctuary tonight. I'm gonna chill and do a little bit of it and build a little house. And there's gonna be a point where I'm in Discord, I'm in voice chat, like, hey man, I'm having trouble finding this kind of log. Can you tell me where it is? And he'll be like, okay, I got you. And he'll link me to the excellently Photoshop produced map of like every material in the whole piece of content that was made at 2:30 a.m. this morning by some freak who somehow did the whole thing in one day.
Okay, well, here's the thing, though. Does any piece of content in this side of the game result in anything cosmetic or
Zero.
Nothing?
Oh, yes. Yes, cosmetic.
That's what I mean. Is there a nice little sign icon above your name?
There's a backpack you can get.
Okay. Because that's enough.
You can get you can get some shorts. You can get some shorts.
A couple of flex items are more than enough for this to be treated like anything else. You know? So, yeah.
You can have a mount that looks like an onion with a face on it.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. It's like, it's absolutely nuts.
I feel like the closest you could get to really testing whether that behavior would emerge or not in a is to have it in a completely rewardless environment, right? If there was nothing you could show off on your character in the outside world in the main game that was rewarding from this thing, and people were still spreadsheeting it, then you'd know for sure. Like, it's it's the type of person and not just like, it's a piece of content. I want those shorts. I want my character to wear those shorts. It's worth it. We're doing it the same way we do anything else.
Yeah, there's no way to not show it off because even if it was not visible in game, you could just use social media.
Yeah, right.
You just take a screenshot, right? So aside from that, there's all sorts of wonderful little social things happen. So you remember the housing nonsense that was a total nightmare?
Mm-hmm.
So There are people that got money that they shouldn't have gotten money. They were accidentally refunded huge amounts of housing money due to the lotto fuck up. And what they did, and this is the wildest thing ever, they put out little fucking apology posters that you can put out on your house that are a pathetic little fish man called a Namazu, looking like he just, like his parents just died, going, "I'm sorry," or "forgive me," or whatever. And you get these from giving the money back. So they're now the rarest item in the game. Okay.
All of the exact amount you were given?
Yes. But also, you can, because it's easier to make it work, they are just now available for purchase. But like this purchase of a little fish man being pathetic, this little picture you can put on your house, costs 50 million gil. And a friend of mine just walked by somebody's house and they had all three of them, which means they had to pay 375,881,000 gil for 3 posters as a pure flex.
Okay, but like, what if the money they gave you was less than 50 million accidentally?
No, because the houses cost certain amounts. It wouldn't have been. People were refunded by accident. Oh yeah, no, it's
so
that.
then aren't you buying it or choosing the least expensive option of the two?
Yeah, no, people no, but I want it. It's rare. It's rare.
Okay.
Other people don't have it.
Now,
so people who are in-game rich are buying them even if they didn't get accidentally refunded.
But but that's the thing, right? So it gives you the flex now, but if you were accidentally refunded, like even putting this system into place and like I assume cobbling it up fairly quickly with an apology, is that because like this is a detrimental mistake to make to the economy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Housing's biggest role is to take gil away. It's supposed to be a money sink. So by accidentally giving people either houses for free or refunding money they shouldn't have had, they massively inflated the price of gil. So they gone, well, here's a tiny little poster you can buy. But the genius of it is that even if those people don't do it, the people with the most amount of money in the game are all insane. Anyway. And will buy it anyway just because other people can't have them. They put mounts into the game that cost 50 million gil, which is a number most players will never ever get. And it's literally existing mounts with a gold sheen on them.
Now,
just so crazies would buy them.
Is it a large number of people that were accidentally refunded money?
It was enough. It was enough. It was a couple thousand.
How many people are doing the buyback for the sticker? Like
I don't think any of them are doing the buyback.
It's just the crazy light bending players. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, you see some people's YouTube videos and they're like, "Well, listen, I hit the cap of gil." Like the cap of gil is like 99 billion gil. That's more than your whole rest of your server combined. How did you do that?
But like,
oh, it's a billion gil? Oh, my mistake.
Doesn't the fact that much money is being spent on a house communally shared by a lot of people, and then
maybe
on a whim potentially they can be like, or just spend it on a sticker, and either way it's fine because it's still a flex and you could just spend the money like
yes, what the FF14 team is discovering, that anything can be a gil sink as long as you can show it off. Anything is a money sink in an MMO if you can show it off.
It doesn't make, yeah, okay. It doesn't matter. None of this matters.
So, yeah, Monkey Weed in the chat points out something that I've been saying for years and years and years, and we've talked about it in different contexts, which is, in economic sense, an MMO player is not a rational actor, right? So you talk about how the server is crashing due to excess load. a rational actor would go, I'll try again later, therefore decreasing load. MMO player goes, what if I try again right now, right now, right now? Because they're not a rational actor.
But just the ever-present concept of exclusivity within exclusivity within exclusivity indefinitely is always at their fingertips. Like, they don't have, what I'm saying is they don't have to try so hard with the housing system when they can just make a little sticker man.
Well, and
You
so
know?
these two things are combined because the island sanctuary is actually 1,000,000 times more in depth than the game's actual in-game housing system. The only thing it doesn't have is it's not occupying a semi-physical space in the world. It's just your friends or your free company or your party members can come visit your island.
Yeah, I mean, that's
I believe Island Sanctuary is to take some edge off all that housing madness.
right. Okay, all right.
So there's that. So it's been a long-standing thing that Final Fantasy XIV doesn't want you to use mods. They don't want you to use third-party things. And there's a lot of reasons for this. They don't want the cultural impact of people measuring your damage and shitting all over you for it. They don't want you turning other people's characters into pornography tools, etc. Right? So it's been a long-standing thing. No mods. No mods unless we don't catch you.
Okay. And
Not a single modification.
And they're
unless you're quiet, just shut up.
and they're always client side only.
Almost always, yeah.
So yeah,
right. Anything that was server side, they would detect. So it is genuinely nice that a part of this patch, it's one of the simplest little tweaks, but it makes such a huge difference, is that when you hit a button, you get a cooldown. And the cooldown shows up in a tiny number in the bottom left corner of the icon, right? That icon is actually really small. So it's like 45 seconds to go, but it is like unironically 10 pixels high with the number that you're trying to read, right? As part of this patch, they have made it so that, hey, look, now the number will fill up the whole icon. So it's way easier to read how many seconds are left to go. Tiny little interface change, very appreciated, just might so happen to be the game's #1 usability mod ever. And now there's no point in modifying your game to do so, because it's a built-in feature.
Yeah. Okay.
So yes, someone in the chat says that you could say it is a simple tweak. So if you have a dev team that's like, don't modify the game seriously, it's nice that they can go to the people who do modify the game, look at, well, why are they modifying it, and use that as a feature list.
Yes. Fantastic.
Right? So, great. There was something else.
And that's
something else that was strange.
That's something
that
that'll
I want to
always
talk about.
be an exclusive like benefit to like PC games, is that you can have a rich modding community, which can then lead to things like community editions, and or like me install like a community patch for Mass Effect Legendary Edition and shit like that. So yeah.
And last but not least, instead, I mean, there's content, there's a new boss, there's new items, whatever. They said a while ago that they're going to be redoing a lot of the graphics engine, and they're going to be implementing like better like they're going to redo the graphics on all the models in the game, like all the player models, like your head and your hair. And that started with this patch where they added a dynamic resolution function, which works fairly well. And the game now runs about 30% better than it ever has, with no decrease in quality or anything. It literally just runs like 30% faster.
So those like models side by side comparisons and lighting changes and all that shit, like this was that patch?
No. Today is sorry, not today. Is dynamic resolution for low performance, and the game just performs way better.
Okay.
It performs way better on PC, it performs better on PS4, and it performs better on PS5. So they're going to be doing this incrementally, right?
Nice.
In addition, I don't know if anybody who plays the game has noticed, all the new gear that came out this patch is way higher resolution than the gear we got last patch. So it looks like anything new being put into the game will be just literally a higher quality.
Okay.
So hooray.
And yeah, because and then eventually that big visual overhaul with the grass and the hair and such.
So what's smart is that they've made it so that the game runs so much better. And now when they put the graphics overhaul in it, it's probably going to still run better than it did before.
Even with the heavier tax on...
like right now, it's like a 20-30% boost. When they add all the new graphics shit, it'll probably drop down to like a 10 or 15% boost. But you'll have dynamic resolution as well. In case, like it's super smart to do the performance first. Also, I knew the game always ran like shit compared to what you're looking at, so it's nice that they finally cleaned up that end of it.
Okay. That reminds me. Speaking of hair, if I can jump in for a second, there was a
remarkably actually on point.
Yes, there's a video that's gonna probably drop in the next day or two, but apropos of nothing, I suppose I should just inform the listeners here that Reggie has proposed some sort of bet of sorts. He seems to be interested in putting his appearance on the line. Now, he initially proposed the idea that at a certain threshold of subs to the new channel, he would shave his afro, somehow thinking that people would want that. And it
looks really good on him.
It was and the whole segment I'm like, Reggie, do you not realize that like everything about your appearance is now a brand part at this point? Anyway. We meander and eventually arrived at the idea that if I think before the end of the year, the new channel overtakes the old one at its peak number, not through people cleverly unsubscribing to drop it, he will cornrow the sides of his fro and mohawk the top to get a Red Shepherd haircut in real life. So those are the stakes.
Should not do that.
That's his idea and his initiative. And that's what he wants. That's what it is. I'm like, okay. I'm telling him that the look is one of, again, it's a branding thing at this point. But the Red Shepherd haircut in real life is pretty fucking wild. And I think he kind of just wants to shake things up anyway, and he's looking for an excuse to.
Yeah, so. that sounds like an excuse.
Exactly. I get that vibe anyway. So there you go. Heads up on that one. That's what between now and December 31st is on the table. Yeah. Certainly better than shaving it. Plus, you can always take it out and get back to the fro if you wanted to. So, anyway, just an aside on the hair thing as it came up. Anything else?
Like that.
Well, I mean, yes, but Red Shepherd is beloved. And Red Shepherd is more beloved than fucking Reggie himself at this point. So why not just lean into it? And the funniest part is gonna, of course, be like his mom's reaction to that look, which I hope we can get a live report on. Good stuff. Good times.
Yeah,
By all means.
I don't know about that. Anyway, I'm still streaming this week. We're streaming Ultra Kill and Prey this week, and then more React content on Saturday. You know down to twitch.tv/PatStaresAt for that.
Yep. New chapter of that's out, right?
Of Ultra Kill, yeah, but I'm gonna start from the beginning because I played it right when it came out 2 years ago. They've added a million fucking things to it since then.
And people.
Yes.
Cool. We're gonna do we're gonna have our, Mass Effect Dead Space, and this Saturday probably try to do some Rumbleverse and or some multiverses, so we'll figure that out. There's a lot of bullshit coming up with all the rollback stuff going on now, so we're gonna roll back around to those. Anyway.
Oh, you know what? I would like to mention something about Rumbleverse and multiverses. Those Battle Pass fucking ideologies are total opposites, and has soured me on one and made me more excited for another.
I'm gonna guess the Battle Pass in Multiverses was good, and the one in Rumbleverse was bad.
Nope.
Other way around.
Multiverses requires you to bang out almost every single daily, almost every single day, as well as all the weeklies, to have a shot at finishing it.
For the pink points.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
No, and Rumbleverse has your weeklies and your dailies, but you get tons of points from just playing matches, and the weeklies stack on top of each other. It's week 2, and they're like, yeah, just work on your old weeklies while you do these weeklies.
Okay.
And gives you back more money than the fucking pass costs for finishing it.
I did look through it, I think yesterday, just at each level to see kind of what was going to come in. And I'm not used to battle passes or what makes good or bad ones. So I'm very interested in seeing like how this plays out. But I did see there was intermittent like cash rewards, and then there was like one costume per 10 levels.
Yeah.
But I guess when I was looking through it, I was looking for some cosmetics that would help mitigate my aesthetic issues with the game. And the Bruce Lee one that everyone got was pretty cool. I like that, the yellow and the stripe outfit. That's a fun one. But I did not see a single thing on that battle pass that I gave a fuck about unlocking or wearing.
Yeah.
So I kind of went, I'm not that interested in any of this because aesthetically is all I want. All I want is something, better. So that's.
I can tell you, with one word, there's a dirty word with battle pass, and I've seen it with Destiny, and I've seen it with Multiverses now, and it's the C word. And that is chore. Does your pass require the use of dailies and weeklies in such a way that you have to plan for playing the game? Do you have to plan, it's 4:00, the Multiverses shit rolled over. I better do my dailies as fast as I can so that I have enough to maybe get a thing tomorrow. Do you know what I've been doing for Rumbleverse? I've been like, hey, I would like to play Rumbleverse. And then I play it, and I earn 2 levels automatically, and maybe I got a weekly from last week. Okay, cool. I played the game for like 4 hours since the pass came out. I'm like level 11 of 100. I am not worried about it. I just play it whenever I like, and it gives me things.
Oh, like, I will never do the first one because I don't play games that way. I don't do that.
Well, then
thing.
Then don't look at Multiverses' shit at all because you'll never get anything.
The closest I got to like that feeling that obligation was like when 5 was like, yo, do you want like a Captain Commando outfit for Nash? And I was like, yeah, I kind of do.
The other thing, and this is just as important. Oh, that's a big fucking spider. The other thing is, so your daily challenge and your weekly challenge, right? Is it something you're actually going to do? Or is it something that loads up and you go, well, okay, I'll try and do that. So multiverses. Stop a projectile with Wonder Woman. I don't like playing as Wonder Woman.
Yes, that was fucking annoying. Reroll it, spend money. And then they did announce on the patch list that they're getting rid of character-specific or class-specific challenges. I did also, but at the very minimum, you could do them against AI, and it still counted. But
yeah, so the worst
I would
one
just
by
reroll
far,
them, though. Yeah,
the worst one by far is KO an enemy from the top or side or bottom of the screen. Because you're like, well, I want to get that thing done with. So now I'm going to start playing in a way in which I'm only going to actually try and kill people by KOing them from the top or the side or the bottom of the screen.
interesting.
So instead of playing normally, I'm going to play to the stupid thing that I have.
See, that for me is playing normally, so I always would get clear that one, no problem.
Wait, no, hold on. What your normal is, I'm going to play 4 games in which I'm only trying to KO people through the top of the screen?
Oh,
I seriously doubt.
No. Like, as in, like, playing, like, jumping off and aiming for certain types of spikes and such.
Yeah, of course. But you have one that is only down spikes count for the daily.
Okay.
And you have 40 minutes in your day because you're busy and you're going to work later, so that you have to do it. So you enter into a match, and now all kills must be down spikes to maximize your time. You know what the fucking dailies in goddamn Rumbleverse are? Hit guys with chairs. Break open boxes. Do a elbow drop 20 times. You don't change a single thing. They are all things that you would always naturally do.
So I also know that with multiverses, there's the 2 battle passes. There's the free one, and then there's the like premium one or whatever. Are the rewards the same, or rather, are the No, I think that it was you level them both up at the same time with the same requirements. But you just get twice the rewards if you get the premium one, I think, right?
Yeah.
That's what it was? Yeah, okay.
I believe so.
Okay, well, yeah. I just, that's interesting again, because...
There's a couple of them in the multiverse one that are extra terrible, which are, be the first person to use an emote at the start of a match.
Yeah, that one sucks. That sucks. I hate that. Yeah.
The one that is, win a game in 2 minutes. Which means you have to stomp the opposition in a 1v1 because 2v2 is not going to finish that quickly. Do 350 damage in a match, which is like some characters can't do. It has to be characters who do a lot of damage that don't have knockout. So that ends up being like, well, I can't kill them yet. I have to keep hitting them.
I get like
And to those who say just do it against bots, yeah, that's not playing normally. I'm loading into bot matches to finish dailies instead of just playing the game.
I haven't had that bad of an experience just because like I'm kind of just jumping on doing what I'm doing. If there's anything that I think I'm not gonna do or whatever, like switch classes or whatever, I re-roll them and that's pretty much it. I've managed to clear them each time I've sat down to do it. I guess just perhaps getting lucky with the character. I'm also not really trying to flesh out other characters as well. I'm just sticking to to Garnet, so I haven't had that much of an issue with it. But when the requirements are way too high, of course that does suck. When I look at that Rumbleverse one though, to reiterate, I wish any of those things looked like something I wanted or was incentivized to work towards, but I just didn't You know,
Yeah, no, that's
didn't care. There was like the welding outfit one was like, I'm like, that's kind of a, you know, that's kind of a cool look, I guess. But I'm like, there's the chicken suit and I'm like, yeah, you get the luchador mask right away, you get the Bruce Lee outfit right away. Fuck the rest. I really don't, you know. I'm just, that was the one thing I was hoping would just like really smooth out the incentives and again hopefully fix the aesthetics, but it looks like that's just not going to be the case, you know.
I gotta say, as somebody who plays a lot of games that want to be a games of service and somebody who plays an MMO constantly, the change to perception and the carrot and the stick makes all the difference in the world, right? So FF14 patch comes out yesterday. It's a patch that has new gear in it, which means you got to get your 450 tomes a week. Dungeon gives you 60 or maybe 90 if you do the roulette, blah, 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 right? You want to make sure to get that every week so that you can gear up as fast as possible, right? Okay. I did that yesterday. I fucking hit the cap on tomes yesterday. The day the patch came out. I played 5 matches of PvP. I ran a dungeon 3 times. I fucking laughable. And you know what I'm going to do tonight after we finish this podcast? I'm going to dive right the fuck back in because I don't feel like it's a fucking chore. Right? Multiverses, I feel like I was playing the thing for a few days and it's like, fuck, I had a moment where I'm like, I didn't finish one of my fucking challenges from yesterday and it's going to roll over. Oh, I hope I'm still able to get the reward by the end of the 3-month period. And I'm like, oh, great, now it's dead to me. Now I hate it. Because now I'm thinking about the game in terms of min-maxing my fucking points and my fucking use of the pass and all that shit.
Is there any...
completely killed it for me.
Is there a particular reward that you're like specifically focused on that you want to get?
Yeah, the last one.
Cake.
Bugs Bunny and fucking Valkyrie shit.
Okay.
It's the only one I want. And it's like, okay, so by trying to fucking condition me to play the game every single day with this terrible fucking progression, my response is, oh, great, now I kind of hate it. Now I wish the game had no progression and no costumes and no nothing, because then I would just play it when I felt like it. But by trying to turn it... That's what fucked me up on Destiny, is people say the Battle Pass in Destiny is easy now. It didn't used to be. You had to log in every day and do your stupid fucking bounties and fucking min-max the places that had the fastest fucking bounties and do all this shit so you could get it. And I had this moment where I'm playing Gambit, and I don't want to play Gambit, but I have to play Gambit today because that's where the good bounties are. And I'm like, okay, fuck this.
I prefer the world when battle passes and all of this types of shit didn't exist and gacha features weren't a thing that was defaulted on, you know, getting cosmetics. I much prefer a simple build money purchase thing from shop economy, and I hate all of this like equally.
Yeah, no. Combining video games and the internet was the worst thing that happens. By the way, check out this podcast every week. I'm streaming almost every day at twitch.tv/PatStaresAt, and I'm going to go play my MMO after this.
It's just to stay online, stay engaged. I therefore can take a look and see nothing I care about and thus not think about the past at all, you know?
Yeah. Well, that's what's happened. That's the only problem with Rumbleverse. It's like, it's ugly.
I mean, the cake. I like the Fiona cake skin for, you know, Jake and Multiversus was also pretty dope. But I also I'm like, I don't play him and I don't care.
Yeah, guess what? I had to play like maybe 80% of the days that beta was available and do every daily during that to get it, which led me to understand like just how much you have to play for the real battle pass. And the answer is a shit ton almost every day.
Well, look, I'll say this. I bet you part of the reason, in fact, I bet you a large part of the reason why both of these are so opposite of each other is because one of them is fighting, clawing, doing every possible thing it can to get your attention, and the other is a WB free online smash child game that knows it doesn't need your fucking attention. So,
well, the other thing is the one that's being published by Epic Games, which is going by the exact Battle Pass model Fortnite uses.
it is Epic, but ultimately, like, it's still a massive underdog by comparison to WB property brand, like Forefront.
Yeah, no, the goal of the Multiverses Battle Pass is for you to get frustrated with the pass and not be able to finish it and just buy the remaining levels at $2 a pop.
Oh, you just spend the cash and boost it or whatever.
$2 a pop.
Yeah.
So I only hit level 28. Okay, well, there's 22 levels left, so I'll just pay $44 to get that Bugs Bunny skin. And they have now sold a Bugs Bunny skin for $44.
I mean, I haven't brought it up in a long time, but like Teppen is still doing its thing, and they've started introducing like some super premium skins. So like Cammy is now a character in the game that you can play as, but it's really just a replacement skin for like another character. And like it's just how many hundreds of dollars in random pulls do you want to spend before she pops up? Type stupid shit.
I don't.
Yeah, fuck off with that. So
I still think in terms of cards, Runeterra is probably the best in terms of I've never even felt the inclination to spend a dime in that game ever.
I certainly hope Project L doesn't go too fucking annoying with it, because I guess some annoyance is designed into the intention with a free to play game. But
I feel like Project L is going to have the exact same thing that League has, which is they're going to have say it comes out with 12 fighters, 4 will be free, given any week. And the money is going to come not from buying characters, but from a fucking shit million costumes. Just a shit, and changing the interface and changing the music and changing the...
Also, League and Runeterra have like events that are like story plot world things, right?
Yeah.
So like 1 or 2 new characters drops, and then those become the playables alongside all the new stages or whatever. Although I mean it's almost like seasons with characters dropping as well at that point.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. Quick word from our sponsors. This week, the podcast is sponsored by DoorDash, who dash to your door and bring you food. And what are you going to do? You going to get mad at that? Of course not. You love it. You want it. You are busy. You got class. You got work. You got stuff going on. You don't want to think about what's going to be for dinner. Or, you got company coming over, possibly even. You want to just get something nice and quick. You want to get it delivered from your neighborhood go-tos and your favorite places. You're going to go with DoorDash. Real straightforward. As you know, you get the food dropped off safely. You can get it of course, with the contactless delivery, where they get to your door, they put it down, ring the doorbell, and just like that, they ninja out of there, and you are ready to eat. They are every day adding new restaurants as well. I've seen a bunch of them popping up around the city. I've gotten to try out some new places and be like, oh, snap, that's pretty good. And I've got some favorites, including places that used to not be on there that... Like, the range has increased, and they're able to dash some food that's from, a little further away, but some of my favorite places are showing up as well. So there's a really good Afghan restaurant that, used to be too far for DoorDash, but now they're there. And
I don't think I've ever had Afghani food.
Ooh, it's so good.
I assume it's good.
You get a lamb shank, you get 3 kinds of rice with it, you get... sometimes like a spinach top, or you can get you get it cooked in juices and raisins, and just a delicious kind of a kind of sweet meat to the sauce, and it's just a bone sticking out of the shank. God, it's so good. fuck, you gotta have it if you can.
Thinking about it.
Yeah.
Thinking about it.
They get that done. Or there's even like the yogurt sauces as well too, like solid. So anyway, I'm loving the fact that I can get that on the regular, and yeah, do it. Get your cravings delivered straight to you. Also, they've got the new DoorDash delivery Dash Pass, $4.99 a month for students, with 0 delivery fees, exclusive items, more than 25,000 members only nationwide. Dash Pass by DoorDash has everything you need to make this semester memorable if you're in the going back to school group. You can save on your orders, save even more with 5%. DoorDash credits back on pickup orders as well. With an annual membership less than $50 a year for unlimited $0 delivery fees. So, for a limited time, our listeners can get 50% off when you spend $12 or more on your first DoorDash order when you download the DoorDash app and enter code SUPERBEAST. That's 50% off, up to a $15 value on your first order when you download the DoorDash app and enter code SUPERBEAST. Don't forget code SUPERBEAST for 50% off your first order with DoorDash. Subject to change, terms apply. Thanks, DoorDash.
Thanks, DoorDash.
This week's podcast is sponsored as well by ExpressVPN. And let's put it like this. When you use the bathroom, you always close the door behind you, right? You wouldn't want a random passerby looking in on you.
And stealing your piss.
So why would you let people look in on you when you go online? Using the internet without ExpressVPN is like going to the bathroom and not closing the door.
Is that in the copy, or are you saying that?
I'm delivering the copy.
Oh my god.
And the
this
facts.
Copy rules.
I'm delivering the facts. You don't want people to see. Close the door. ExpressVPN. Don't let them fucking, and then sometimes someone might walk by and be like, ew, I didn't want to see that. And you're like, well, right? But then sometimes you've got those companies that walk by and they're like, ooh, I see some feet under the stall. Ooh.
Oh, man, again.
There's a space over the stall. Maybe I can take a little peek and hop over and see what's going on in there. It's the worst. Terrible. ISPs are out there trying to get your information. They're trying to sell that data to tech giants to target you. ExpressVPN's putting a stop to that with a secure encrypted tunnel between your device and the internet so that your online activity can't be seen by anyone. And like I said, I've been using it on the regular on my phone to watch them YouTube videos that I'm otherwise told I shouldn't be able to watch in Canada.
You can't watch this. Stop watching this.
One button. Fuck you. I'm watching it. Oh, yeah. It's that simple. On and off whenever I need to. And, of course, when you're using it on a shared Wi-Fi, if you're sitting in that McDonald's Wi-Fi and you decide to go down that road, which essentially at that point, that's a communal shitting ground, really.
You know what? I want to point out that if you're going to use McDonald's Wi-Fi, we're going to use the example earlier of peeing with the door open.
Exactly.
Using the McDonald's Wi-Fi is like peeing with the door open, and then while they're watching you, you dip your fucking dick into the bowl and scrape it under the fucking rim.
I hate it. That's the worst. But where I was originally going is if you decide to connect to that kind of Wi-Fi, it's a big dumping ground where everyone's just ass out anyway, right? So you're a fool for even putting yourself in that situation.
However, they're all scraping.
However,
they're all bowl scrapers.
If you open up ExpressVPN, you tap that button, and suddenly a personalized shield will protect you from the worst of those people staring at you, trying to see what's going on inside that bathroom. They want to see your dumps, man. Don't let them do it. Stop it. ExpressVPN is the world's #1 rated VPN by Mashable, The Verge, countless others as well. And like I said, just like you close the bathroom door... Here, hold on. Using ExpressVPN is as easy as closing the bathroom door. You fire up the app, click one button, and you're protected. So, to close the door, turn the lock, right? There you go. That's... Hey. Couldn't have said it better than that. If you're like me and you believe...
That's good copy. That's a really good way to do it. Thanks, ExpressVPN copy guy.
If you're like me and you believe your online activity is your business, secure yourself by visiting expressvpn.com/superbeast today. That's our exclusive link. expressvpn.com/superbeast, and you can get an extra 3 months free. expressvpn.com/superbeast. Thanks, ExpressVPN.
Thanks, ExpressVPN.
It's good. They know the audience. Straight to the toilet.
By the way, yeah, I'm watching Lies of P gameplay here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have Bloodborne at home might be the most accurate way you have ever described anything. It is
Not even pretending.
It is insane knockoff territory, but it looks solid.
I saw some moves that I was like, okay, yeah, I see that. A dodge here and a hint there. Anyway, we're not done, though. Hold on a moment. We need to tell the people about our other sponsor. Hold on a second. Is this incorrect? Excuse me. I think this is incorrect. Oh, boy.
Oh, no.
The wrong thing has been put in the wrong place and the wrong copy.
Ruh-roh.
That's not good.
Not even good a little.
Why would you do this? Well, we're going to roll with it. Okay. This week, the podcast is sponsored by Honey. And
Hey, Honey, what up?
Honey is the easy way to save money when you're shopping online, on your computer, on your phone, wherever that might be. Perhaps not IRL in person. I think if you get up to the cashier and put the stuff down, and then they beep up the stuff, and then you stand around, and then they go, "What are you doing?" And then you pull out a bunch of bees, and then you pour honey all over the checkout. I don't think you're going to get savings that way.
Yeah, that's not going to work. We got a guy in the chat while we were talking earlier talk about he went outside just now, got stung by like 100 bees.
No.
Feel bad for him. That's not how you save money. We're not talking about real bees. It's the name of a company.
Right. I think you might have misunderstood what we were trying to say. When you are shopping online, that's the key word here. You will then get to the checkout page. On that checkout page, you're going to see a coupon box for coupon codes. And you got to be a special privileged in-club, son of a fucking millionaire or someone privileged in society of noble birth to learn what those coupon codes are. But Honey will find those promo codes you're otherwise usually not entitled to, since, lower birth and all. And then it applies that to your cart, and then you save money, just like that. See, isn't it wild? Because those of noble birth don't actually need the savings. But here, the ones who do are robbed of those savings. But Honey's going to grab them, and you'll save on what you... Because, look, I don't know. Do you get people walking up and handing you promo codes all the time like that? I don't.
I don't, but I guess I'm not part of the savings bourgeoisie.
That's exactly it. The ones who get the savings are not the ones who need them. The ones who need them are not the ones who get them. Therefore, you're shopping on your favorite site. You go to the checkout. You click the Honey button that appears. You click Apply Coupons. You wait a few seconds. Honey searches for the best coupons it finds. And then when it finds a working one, the prices drop. It's just that simple. And yeah, I've seen this. This is working on gadget sites. It's working on tech. It's working on clothes. It's working on pizza. It's working on all kinds of shops when you are online. So easy to use. Doesn't just work on desktop, phone too. Activate it on Safari, on your iPhone, and save on the go. If you don't have Honey, you could be straight up missing out. Yeah, you can get that. Do a solid, support the show. Go to, get Honey for free at joinhoney.com/superbeast. That's joinhoney.com/superbeast. And you can get Honey for free. Thanks, Honey.
Thanks, Honey. You know what I'm thinking about? Thinking about if you don't close the bathroom door, you'll get stung by bees.
Someone might pour honey on you.
That's a strange tangent. even for the strange tangents that you got, that's quite strange.
Yeah, well, listen, sometimes they get a little too strange, and sometimes some people are like, hey, they didn't like that very much. Can you dial back the strange? And sometimes you gotta do what's called a make good.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, is that true? Yeah? Okay, good, yeah.
So yeah.
That's fine.
That's fine. It's not a problem. Fine. We do what we do
Not
here.
A problem at all.
It's all good.
Just trying to make everybody happy.
Yep. Look, the way I like to think of it is I managed to successfully shave everyone's balls. As far as I'm concerned,
that's correct.
My goals were done. There was not a single ball left to be shaved. So
yeah.
What's going on? Well, we talked about the Gamescom stuff, and we farted right past it.
Right on past that.
Sure did.
Hey, Wooly, remember a couple weeks ago when you said Fear Effect, but what if it was good, though?
Mm-hmm.
Did you see that trailer for Fear Effect Reinvented I sent you that is Fear Effect, but still bad, but doesn't look as cool as old Fear Effect was? Thus completely missing the point entirely?
I did, in fact, see it. And it took, honestly, like, I clicked play with hope, and it took until the first blood pop headshot out of her unreacting body for me to go, oh God, oh no. I don't know, man.
Terrible.
It's just your choices are like, I suppose the franchise is dead, or it's back and it's pretty much still dead. I don't know, man. It's weird because Fear Effect had one thing going for it, really, and it was that art style.
And it looked weird.
It looked really weird. That's what it had going. That's what people remember.
And FMV backgrounds, that was cool.
And I liked that art style. But you know what, though? Here's the thing. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, God damn it, I'm like Fear Effect's #1 fan and they're fucking it up. Because it's like...
Oh, hell no.
No, because there's games that have come and gone since then that have, like, fucking crushed that art style. And, like, we're in the world of what ArcSys is doing now with, like, cel shading. So, you know, like, the novelty of the cel-shaded thing was once upon a time the main deal. We've moved past it.
In terms of cel shading, it's been destroyed by many contemporaries. In terms of FMV background use, it was annihilated just a year or two later by Resident Evil Remake. Like,
right? Yes, true. RE1. But the back then you had like what little exposure you can to games that are gonna like try to get an anime art style going, and oh my God, there's Fear Effect and there's Oni, for the PC. And there's, what the fuck was it called? That mecha game that we did for Mecha Week as well.
That could be anything.
There was a particular... Shogi. There's Oni, there was Shogi, and, or was it Shogo? Anyways, there's a couple of games that came out and were like, we're doing anime! But, you would give it the time of day and go check it out because you wanted to see how close that could get. But... you know, we've moved past that. So Fear Effect, it's like, if you're not going to kind of land that and nail it and make it all about that, that's unfortunate. Why are you even bothering is my question. Yeah, Shogo, right? There you go. Cool. Mobile armor. But beyond that, there still was some other stuff. So we got a trailer dropping for Rift of the NecroDancer. So I talked about that a little bit. Now we get to see a trailer of it, and holy fucking shit, I did not expect the complete genre shift on this. This is
Guitar Hero.
It's not just Guitar Hero. It's rhythm Punch Out. The boss fight you see is rhythm note charts as a character is facing you Punch Out style, and you are dodging and moving and attacking on the beat, which is fucking sick. Because, you know, Crypt of the NecroDancer could have had a Crypt of the NecroDancer 2. This is not it. But Cadence of Hyrule is also really good and certainly shows you, like, you know, where you level up that gameplay design and where that could go if you wanted to make a sequel on it. This is a whole other thing. Yeah, I suppose Everhood kind of is in this realm as well when you do get down to brass tacks. But, Everhood is you standing on the note chart and riding it to dodge things, whereas this is back to a more traditional, we want you to hit the notes on the note chart as they come down at you, not dodge them as attacks. So Everhood looks like a rhythm game, but remember, you're not hitting every note that's coming at you, you're dodging them. So it's an inverted rhythm game. You're avoiding the notes. But this is an actual... Oh, need a second?
No.
All right. Yeah, so Rift of the NecroDancer.
Nice lady, her sunglasses.
Rift of the NecroDancer, super dope. And again, shout-outs to the naming convention where you can put title, word, thing of the NecroDancer to continue the franchise. I'm very excited for more Punch-Out style games.
NecroDancer is my favorite roguelite that I am absolutely trash at.
Yeah,
every time I play it, I am like, wow, this game is I'm dead. I'm dead. Like, it's great. And Cadence of Hyrule is great.
So
shit, you don't know this is my cucumber.
You might need to purchase a real life metronome and put it on the desk and like hit it and then start playing the game. And just, you know, make sure you kind of keep it in mind as you play. Because there's the in-game metronome, certainly, but, like, there's nothing you can do if your brain doesn't wrap itself around the idea of moving on the offbeat. Or double timing for certain...
It's the offbeat. On-beat, fine.
Yeah.
But the offbeat, I have trouble.
And what's interesting as well, too, is, like, moving on the offbeat that skill is exactly what you need to go from like a beginning drummer to like becoming kind of decent. Is like learning to like notice the offbeat, always be able to hit it on time, and then eventually not think about it because you're focusing on two of your limbs and your third limb is automated, right? So
yeah.
Like your leg or your arm or your other arm, or one of those is just doing something you're not thinking about, and then the other two are what you're really focusing on. So yeah, Rift of the NecroDancer looks fucking sick. Update: KOTOR remake, which was indefinitely on hiatus after two higher ups were fired from Aspyr, or left, whichever the case would be.
Whichever you want to think about. I bet they resigned.
Well, whatever it is, there was what I'll call a spate of Embracer Group acquisitions.
Yes.
Like there was like
much embracing.
Embracer Group just continued to acquire. Yes, they embraced maybe 10 companies back to back, and they announced that they're taking the KOTOR remake from Aspyr and they're giving it to Saber Interactive, which is a company in Eastern Europe. They're going to just continue, I guess, where Aspyr left off. So
Saber Interactive.
Yeah. Aspyr was a team in Austin. And yeah, it looks like and they don't want it shelved forever. They're going to continue by just handing it off to someone else.
Saber Interactive has made... Wow, they have a lot of subsidiaries. Okay. A lot of them out in Eastern Europe. Yep, it's going to be Eurojank. That's right, Eurojank KOTOR. Coming at you.
Multiple teams on the same game, of course, with one building on top of the other, never goes wrong.
Always goes well.
Swimmingly. So I'm sure that'll be fine. There's a template that could be followed. It won't be, because...
No, this game's going to be trash.
So, I had a thought where I was like, would I have preferred this to just be like KOTOR 3? And it's like, if it was...
Oh, silly Wooly.
If it
There's already a KOTOR 3.
Exactly. And whatever happens to those characters has already happened. Therefore, you can't really do much there. You'd have to Andromeda it, essentially. So, I don't know, man. The idea of 2 getting its proper release with the restored content and shit, it's nice that that's being brought back for people who haven't played it. But the pipe dream that is the just the remake that doesn't take anything away and just builds from what's there and de-jankifies a lot of the jank and otherwise creates a smooth experience and preserves some of the best fucking writing in all of Star Wars.
Don't worry, man. It's being made by a European studio now. There'll be no jank at all. Not even a 1 jank.
So I shouldn't get my hopes up on the remake, huh?
Fuck no.
Yeah. Well, in the meantime, guess what? Dead Space on my Xbox is a great game. I'm having fun
sure is.
Playing the Xbox 360 copy of Dead Space. Anyways. Can't take that away. But it ain't on the shelf forever. We'll see. If it does end up even just being a fucking visual improvement and then everything else is the same as or whatever, it's still just like, okay, here kids, play this. The writing's really good. The story's really cool. So there was some talk about shifting of Twitch partner and affiliate stuff back in a couple weeks ago, and they've announced now that partner streamers can stream to other platforms. So you're no longer...
But you can't simul-stream to any of their actual competitors. You can only really, of note, multi-stream to TikTok.
So to clarify, you can, if you're a partner, single stream to YouTube or Facebook. You can
Which you could always do before.
There was a 48-hour clause on content, I think it was, but multi-streaming to Twitch and TikTok or Instagram simultaneously is allowed. Multi-streaming to Twitch and YouTube or Facebook simultaneously is not allowed, because essentially...
So is the 48-hour exclusivity clause gone now, or what?
I don't know, because I
didn't see anything that removed that.
The direct competing of these 3 things is still in place, so you still are not allowed. I wonder if there's a you can stream it a day later or a couple hours later, but you just can't do it simultaneously. I don't...
Well, it's Twitch always had the thing of you can't stream the same exact content on a competing platform.
Yes.
Which just meant you can't multi-stream it.
Yes.
And then if you had say a Twitch stream, you had to wait 48 hours to put it on basically YouTube, which is why everybody's YouTube VODs or clips are delayed by 48 hours. So the only real change here is that you can multi-stream it to fucking TikTok.
Mhm.
It's the only,
Or
but they're
Instagram.
portraying it, or Instagram, yeah. But they're portraying it like, look, you can do everything we couldn't before, even though most of that you could totally do before.
Those are not competitor platforms for that type of streaming.
You could absolutely stream 4 hours and then turn it off and then go stream a different 4 hours on YouTube. There's nothing ever stopping you.
I do believe as well. I'm reading that if you do that some I don't know what the Google equivalent would be, but for YouTube streaming, there's also restrictions for certain streamers in terms of crossing over with Twitch too. So even if you did get the okay from one side, if the other is still blocking you, then you can't simul stream there either. So either way, meh. But
somebody in the chat has a really good point to make. Critical Role streams on Twitch and YouTube at the same time. So how come they get away with it? Or is it because it's pre-recorded? No, they get away with it because it's Critical Role. And Critical Role is big enough they can talk to a human being at these places and go, yeah, we're going to do it. And they go, okay, give money though.
Is it possible that they're also just not actually affiliates or partners, and they're just using it as its own platform and then monetizing in a different way?
I mean, maybe that might be it too.
Because, for example, you know, the Jimquisition and things like that, where you're like, yes, this is a big channel, but no, I don't actually sign a contract with them. Therefore, I can do whatever the fuck, and then Patreon or whatever
Patreon
else exists.
Is the Jimquisition's real home.
So perhaps, you know, Critical Role has something similar going on. You know, I don't know. Otherwise, yeah, maybe it's just privilege. But yeah, the other thing, of course, is though, well, when I at least look for me, there's a bit more going on in terms of the technicalities of if I were to simul stream, because for one, I would want to make sure that, of course, the giant VOD dumps that show up on YouTube wouldn't be even more detrimental algorithmically, which my understanding is they absolutely can be. Secondly, the quality of the stream would decrease massively, because what I put up on YouTube later is a better quality recording locally of what I'm streaming out to Twitch. So
yeah,
the overall stream would just look worse if I had to do it that way as well, which I'm not too fond of that either.
Anyway, Twitch says they made a big change. They didn't. They made a little baby change.
The main thing that people would hope for, it seems, is still not a thing. Other things going on out of nowhere. A new Paprika series TV show is being made. Kathy Yanta executive produce, based on the novel, not necessarily the Satoshi Kon anime masterpiece, for Amazon Studios and Hive Mind. So that's
it's going to be live action.
Interesting. Live action Paprika TV show based on the novel. Very, very interesting. I didn't know anything about the novel. Taking a glance after the story was announced, it sounds like there's some differences in the novel. Basically, some people are kind of like, between the two, they preferred the movie. So there might be a major difference in quality of the source material here. But
don't worry, guys. We're gonna make a cartoon of The Shining that's more accurate to the book, is how I hear this.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna need to see like what they're talking about in terms of budget, because I don't think Paprika is an impossible adaptation. It's just an unbelievably expensive one to do, like, justice to the visuals of the DC mini and the dreams and the colors and the parade and all of that shit, right? Again, the Satoshi Kon movie was the like perfect. That's the perfect person to adapt something that visually insane, and going this route with it. If they give it enough money, this could look interesting. It could work, right? But it's just, dreams are fucking anything your brain can think of. Therefore, if you get lazy with it or uncreative, or if you cheap out on that stuff, for me at least, I always go, come on, You know, this is an anything possibility world, and we're stuck with, you know, such a simple, basic ass like version of that interpretation. Yeah.
Well,
We'll see.
Luckily, if they spend too much money on it and they don't think it'll make it back, then they can just write it off and not release it and make all their money back, right? And then nothing will go wrong and everyone will be happy.
You ever try to save $3 billion and end up losing $20 billion instead?
Nope.
Damn.
I haven't.
That's a bad feeling.
So here's the actual cherry on top of the shit sundae. WB, over the past 2 weeks, as a part of their merger with Discovery, has been attempting to cut costs everywhere as fast as possible in killing their entire animated section, pulling things off and throwing them into the trash. Which
Not
in
telling
one
the
case
creators about this.
has led to the Batgirl movie being destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
Destroyed. Not just delisted, not just passed over for production. They went to the trouble to destroy it, and the director tried to get a copy of it, but it was already gone off the server by the time they had it. Yeah, no, it's gone. It's like that movie never happened.
So apparently, like, Hollywood people are like looking at this and are baffled because, like, going out of your way to kill something like this at this point in a project is such a money sink that the only thoughts, like, basically there's some people that are reporting that, like, it's such an unusual, crazy, expensive thing to do that it must have been, like, beyond god awful. It must have been the worst thing they'd ever filmed or created. And, like,
it's like, no,
they could
just right off.
And just the you know, there was no one that was willing to take the hit on it in the state it was in addition to the merger cuts and all that bullshit going on.
So they did in fact save $3 million by getting tax breaks for things that were produced but not released.
Okay.
So and the new head of Warner Brothers, who was the head of Discovery, was like, look how much money we're saving. However, due to the absolute annihilation of consumer confidence in their streaming service, which is their big thing now, they have lost $20 billion off their market cap for a total loss of $17 billion and counting after about 1 week.
So I didn't even catch that full part of it. I just saw people talking about how every animated show was suddenly gone from HBO Max, and how all the creators were unable to answer any questions as to what, where, or why, with the exception of one crossover episode of Uncle Grandpa and, was it SpongeBob?
Maybe.
So.
Oh, somebody points out correctly. It's not just so consumer confidence in their streaming platform is now ruined, and they have unironically created a new generation of people who are now going to become hardcore pirates.
Mm-hmm.
Because, well, I paid for your streaming service, HBO. Why when things come? But the other part of it is partner confidence. Every
creators on the platform,
every creator, every accountant, every union guy who runs the staff on a movie set, every director, every lawyer who handled the deals and the copyright stuff, like every single person involved with any of these projects is like, the fuck am I going to work with fucking Warner Brothers / Discovery ever again? You do your job, and then they fucking just they destroy it for a quick buck. Like,
so this was the inevitable end state of the death of the TV, cable cutting, digital streaming, streaming services coming along, Netflix, primary one, competitors, others not need to get their foot in the game. They recreate the television channel network subscription market on your computer that everyone tried to get away from. they create a subscription service that everyone essentially hates because now you have 10 different places trying to all get your monthly buck.
Yeah, subscriptions worked under one theme. And it's the theme of it's easier for me to pay for this and watch it than it is for me to just take it.
Clown
Gabe
ass.
Newell, over and over. So piracy is a service issue.
Say again.
Piracy is a service issue.
Service issue.
The Gabe Newell quote. Like, make it easier to get it and pay for it. People will.
Sounds to me like a skill issue.
Yeah, a little bit.
Might be a skill issue.
So now we have everything across 10 services, like you said, and then
so you
the
ruined
thing
it.
that you're in the middle of watching will just get pulled.
Just clown ass execs can't help themselves, and here you are. This is it. You've successfully recreated the exact same bullshit thing everyone wanted to get away from, except now it's even worse because suddenly it's not like that channel just gets pulled offline. That content no longer exists. You know, like,
So here's the best part. Say you're halfway through Uncle Grandpa, a show that was on HBO Max, right? And Uncle Grandpa dead now. No more Uncle Grandpa. And you don't understand why. So you type in to Google HBO Max Uncle Grandpa. And look at that. What pops up? Uncle Grandpa. For free. All of it. Here. Now. No subscription. Yeah, you'll have to watch an ad. But you had to watch an ad on HBO Max anyway, because they put the ads in them now.
I'm scrambling to find it. Yes, shout outs to harddrive.net, the ever just racking up dubs as far as the eye can see, with their article from 2 days ago. Here's everything coming to freefamilyguy.tv this month.
Yeah.
Make sure to check out these classics before they leave the hit streaming services. And just a giant list of you know, Fern Gully 320p, Titanic nude scene compilation, live stream night cam footage of you on the computer. It's just, yeah, it is just like, okay, guys, you shit it up. You shit it up in the way that everyone expected to. You couldn't hold yourselves back. And now, all right, we're in this world of just like, hey, do I want to support this thing? Can I? Okay, I'll give it a shot. Oh, I can't? Oh, I guess I won't then.
It's also,
that's
like,
it.
It can't,
it's a
it can't be.
Sorry, it's a tip jar you're turning it into. You know, it's just like, I'm going to watch this. I would like to support. Would you? No? Okay. Not taking tips, apparently.
So, I got an update in the chat. I'm not sure. I can't get a source on this because it's brand new. But apparently, Warner Brothers is moving a bunch of their movies to next year, as they don't have enough liquid capital to release more than 2 films in theaters for the remainder of the year, despite it only being the end of August. Because of this kerfuffle. Hilarious, if true. I feel like it's difficult to overstate, because we've all known about, like, consumer getting fucked over. Of course they were going to fuck us over. We all knew they were going to fuck us over, right? But I don't think anybody who worked on these things expect to be fucked over. And what makes me think of the most is, like, a lawyer. Let's say a lawyer, right? A lawyer's not a creator on Infinity Train, right? Right? They're not writing a script. They're not directing episodes. They're the lawyer they hired to do the contracts for the staff and handle the union and go to be the back and forth between the studio and the thing. So they go through the thing, make sure all the legalese is correct and nobody, right?
What does that guy do? Like a couple hundred hours of work on that project to make sure everything goes smooth. And okay, great, good. Okay, so I did my job, and now Infinity Train can go through, and I did my good job as a lawyer, and now there's not going to be any legal problems, and I'm done. Good. Put that in my brain as a good job, well done. Okay, they deleted it? What the fuck did I bust my ass at night fucking going over those contracts over and over and over for a fucking show that didn't even come out? It did come out, but they killed it? What the? Like, everyone gets mad. No one wants to have that happen. Even for paperwork or building scaffolding or delivering fucking papers to the animation studio. Like,
please look forward to the continued catamarrying and rolling in of corporations into each other. And as we approach, I guess, what, the big five, even reducing to perhaps the big four at some point.
oh,
Love it. It's great. Good things happen.
it's like, obviously, everyone, if you get paid for it, well, job well done. But nobody wants to see their job well done thrown into a fire.
Dude,
Ever.
I mean, well,
No matter what it is.
Well, I just, like, I can't, like, I don't know how to, like, understate the insanity of, like, you know the thing when, like, people get walked to the office with their box and then they boot it on the street and when they're fired and not told anything, or when employees go on Twitter and go, hey guys, I just found out my studio shut down, like, or whatever. Like, creators behind multiple shows just having no idea what happened to the body of work they've created. Like, not a phone call, not any, like, people that you would think would be on the top of the list of, like, phone calls that would get made before anything like that happens, or before anyone clicks a button and pulls anything down. It's just, it's like, yeah, okay, it doesn't matter. None of that matters. No one.
Hey, so some congratulations, WB. In every contract for every mass market fucking TV show, animated program, or film going forward, they're going to put in a clause where they must be provided with hard copies of all master footage and all edited drafts so that they have it. Like, apparently their stock is a mess right now as well.
Oh, well, you know.
This is real Gundam, I'm a genius, oh no energy.
I mean, it's also, like, God, just the fact that on a much more zoomed out level, like, the continued, like, how it's getting much more normal that, you know, like, we have any channel that you have or I have or that is out there, anything out there can just, like, get wiped off, just nuked entirely, and there's nothing anyone can do about it. And, you know, just kind of like, well, hope you were offline backing up your shit before you popped it on there, because you're not going to negotiate with a robot to be able to get your shit back. There's no collecting your shit in your box and walking out. It's just to get the fuck out. Anyways, good job, guys. Good job, Warner Discovery. Now I have a question, Pat.
Ask me your question, sir.
Let's say I was interested, because I've been told all these years, you know, about how good the Fallout games are. So let's say I wanted to get into Fallout 4.
Wait, I'm going back. No, wait, I'm interested again. Yeah.
But let's say by when I'm interested in getting into Fallout 4, but I wanted to remove all the black people.
Okay, well.
What do I do?
Okay, well,
because I kind of need
there.
We're
not.
I need to I want to know if I can, you know, what if I was,
Oh my god! You know my favorite thing in the world is? I just scroll by. Oh, that Spider-Man thing. Nope. We're actually talking about Fallout 4. We're not there yet, Wooly. We're not there yet. However, there is a mod being developed. The visual part of the mod is done. We have been able to remove all people of color from Fallout 4.
Okay, good,
But-
good.
But the black voices remain. So we are gonna need to do a call out for voice acting to replace all the black voices with the more wholesome white voices.
Yes. Okay. But the spirit of the characters being replaced, however, I would assume for the game to continue being as good as it is, they would want to recapture that spirit, you know? So, like, I would call for those replacement voice actors to do their best impressions.
Yeah.
Right?
But you know in your heart that yeah.
Yeah, do your best impression of the black actor that you're reading the lines and replacing there.
Just less black.
You know, a little more just options, you know, just put them out, just getting the options out there.
So we are referring to a gentleman who is making a Fallout 4 mod in which he removes all the black people and has made a voice actor call out. Yeah, and has made a voice actor call out like, listen guys, I need people to replace the black voices, right?
As you do.
And this is juicy for a couple reasons, but the one that stands out to me, if you know the post I'm talking about, Willie, if you looked at it and read the comments, what's wild is that there are some racist folk in that thread that even they are like, this is too much. There's one guy in particular that is like, I wouldn't get rid of Preston Garvey. He doesn't have that diversity for hire sound. Which is like, yeah, no, get rid of all the other black characters, but this one's actually pretty good. So even within the subgroup of racists who want to remove black people from video games,
but that one was a good one, though.
But that guy's actually pretty good. I don't get a bad feeling off of him.
Yeah, no, totally. Absolutely, man. Damn. That's incredible. Well, you know, be sure to send your audio sample wave of your line reads over to American Krogan on Telegram, because that's currently the modding process. It's going to need some volunteers. It's good times. It's fantastic.
And please, only genuine line reads. This isn't a joke. The person's working very hard. So only genuine ones. So somebody mentioned the Spider-Man one. The Spider-Man one, I feel bad for that guy, actually.
I mean,
guy put out a mod that removed all the pride flags from Spider-Man. But there was also a sub mod within that replaced all flags with the pride flag. And it turns out, do you know what he did? He turned
on the Saudi Arabia trigger.
Yeah, he did. He didn't go in and change them. He found the Saudi Arabia Spider-Man PS4 trigger and just flipped it on.
Everything is terrible. That's just that. The sprinkles on that part of the story. Is that a lie?
Oh,
please. Is that a lie?
Oh no! So wait, it was just. Oh no!
It was the straight up. It was direct. It was. Oh, I thought there was a little spin and a swerve. I thought there was a little bit of creative swerve to this one.
I wanted to believe.
I heard the same one too. I heard the same thing too. So I fell for it as well. Damn.
Oh no! It was just a guy removing all the pride flags.
Damn. Okay. Yeah. Straight jab.
Bummer.
I thought we got like some creative new shit coming on with the fucking, thought it was some new tech, but he just went boop, and you're like, ah. Well, there you go.
You want to expect the best from people, and every day you learn that is a mistake.
I mean, I assume that like the murals have to get replaced next at some point.
Oh man,
like, that's
dude, I gotta say, how long ago did you go through the original Spider-Man game?
A while. Yeah.
Cause like, let me tell you, if you go back to it now, that game has like the most fucking like insane relationship of Spider-Man with the police. It's fucking like, it's fucking knee-slapping hilarious. Where the cops are like, Spider-Man, we're the NYPD, and we need you to do the satellite so we can listen on everyone's phone conversations to prevent crime. And Spider-Man's like, oh, good. Oh, I'm gonna help that out. Oh, I can't wait. Oh, I love the NYPD. They're so strong.
I mean, with
like,
you know, with Batman and with Spider-Man, I feel like there's that simultaneous thing that's like, I talked about it with the movie, but there's always that list like helping them out, but some of them are just like, hey, there goes the Spider-Man, that's one of them good ones, yeah. And then his partner's like, I don't fucking trust him, I don't like him. And you're like, oh no, some of the departments like untrustworthy, and some of them are crooked, and some of them are good, and yeah, the timing is always great. I wanted to say though, before we get off the topic, I mean, just a fucking hearty howdy do and shout out to what I always appreciate is a straightforward response by the modding site there. That was just like, hey, if you have an issue with this, you can just delete your account and go away.
You could just go away. Goodbye.
There's a pretty clean, pretty simple option here. You can just
bye now.
Just delete your account and go away. It's always there for you if you'd like to.
Listen, do you want a Skyrim mod devoted to fucking elven feet worship that is just disgusting? Yeah, throw that in there, but we don't. Come on.
Yeah,
come on.
See, the thing though is that with that one, the guy used a fake account, so it's not quite the full-on exposure. So it's a little less satisfying, because then that's why they were like, yeah, we're fuck that account, whatever. If it was someone using their real account, then they weren't as much of a coward, then they would have perhaps tied a conversation with them. But that's why it's so exciting that American Krogan is out here doing the work and using the real account. So hey, all the best, man. Do it. Love it. It's great. God. No hoods. Show me that face. Take the selfie. Broadcast it. Live stream it, baby. Yeah, good times. Good times. Do you think at any point while typing the tweet out there was like a pause in the you know, before
Absolutely
before
not.
clicking send?
You know how I know that? You know how I know that? And it's perfect because you're going through Mass Effect right now. American Krogan is everything you need to know. There's just so much wrapped into that identity. Oh, it's so perfect.
Yep. All right. Well, anyway. Never change, guys. Let's take some emails.
Hey, if you want to send an email, send it to castlesuperbeastmail@gmail.com. That's castlesuperbeastmail@gmail.com.
Was that our lucky modder? Was that our third modder?
Oh, it might have been.
That was our third modder. You know, the third modder is going to grant you 3 wishes.
Ooh. One of the best lines of dialogue in a game defined by incredible dialogue. Oh.
Give me a second. Let me just There we go. Okay. If you've got a letter, you can send it to castlesuperbeastmail@gmail.com. We've got one coming in from Nocturne Reverie.
Hey, Nocturne.
Nocturne Reverie says, I've had a bad string with my general health, nothing COVID related, fortunately. But while thinking about myself and my state, I was rewatching you and Pat played Dark Souls, specifically Blight Town, and I had a fun thought experiment. If you could have any UI, HUD, or quality of life element in real life vision, what would you pick? I'm not talking about just basic video game either. Stuff like a meter indicating whether your balls need to be washed, a status meter that looms with a swamp icon, health meter in the corner that shows how hollowed out you are from never eating right, inventory for the items you own and where they're stored, lock-on enemy radar for a fly or a spider, a city builder like notification that tells you when your wife eats glass, or just a good old-fashioned item durability meter.
It's called your cell phone, man. It's called your cell phone.
When a tool of yours is going to conk out on you. That kind of stuff to think about after this, the side effects of those kinds of things, like an enemy radar, you see flares red, and so on. Yeah. So, what would you like? I mean,
I can tell you right now.
The most useful is probably just the HP meter, classic, right?
Like, that's incredibly useful. Obviously, I want. Yeah, somebody in the chat just said I want a buff debuff list. Okay, I like. Oh, I don't feel so well today. Look at it. Is it tired or is it cancer?
That's okay. Solid.
That's important to know, because the difference between knowing that at minute 1
a new icon,
minute 1 million is the difference between me going to the doctor or being in the grave.
Okay, but I'm coming from the other side with this though. Give me the Stone of Agony. I want a secrets detector that vibrates whenever something super useful is nearby, and I can just fucking find it.
Doesn't that just mean that like it'll be going off constantly?
Well, no. It means like if I got $20 in that pants pocket over there, then that's cool. But also, if I'm out in the world and like something really good is nearby, free fucking whatever, I don't know, something good. I wanna be able to know that it's nearby and find it. That's a good one. Little Stone of Agony.
There's some really good ones coming in. I'm seeing
Detective Vision is solid.
I'm seeing content-sensitive background music.
Nice. That's good. That's good.
You know that moment when you're in RPG and the music, like the da-da-da-da, you're like, what the fuck? There's no one around.
I would love an objective arrow, nearest objective / direction marker, specifically as well for NPCs. That'd be fucking great.
No, you know what I want?
Because you're walking out in
object highlights.
Object highlights, detective vision is good. Yep, that's good. But like the idea, because here's the thing. There's like getting a better understanding of what's happening around you, and then there's wandering out into the world and seeing somebody that's like a listed quest, and you're like, oh, who are you? What do you have for me? And you know, you never know where that's gonna go. I want to meet the NPCs that have quest rewards and know where to find them. Okay, but yeah. Quick save.
Oh my god.
The quick save.
Somebody
done.
Somebody in the chat.
Save state.
Well, the quick save's not an interface. That's cheating.
Fine.
That's cheating. But somebody in the chat had actually the best one, which is closed captioning. Closed
captioning's pretty good.
Closed captioning enables a lot of doors to be open.
A persona-like fucking S-Link ranking might come in handy at some points as well, but you can kind of intuit that, really. Yeah.
No. I want a dialogue box to pop up in front of me before I do something that hits me at the point of no return that goes, are you sure you want to do this?
Do you want to save now?
Like I go bungee jumping and it goes progress will be lost. Are you sure you want to continue? And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna pussy out. I'm gonna back off.
See, stuff like a level indicator, a stat sheet, because like a stat sheet that you can't modify, that you just get to see what you're at, but you already kind of know how bad you are at a lot of things, so you kind of know that. And like a, where is the threat coming from behind? Like you're hearing, like you can kind of intuit a lot of that stuff. I want stuff that you could never fucking get otherwise. Information that's completely locked away from you. Yeah, that's good. It might be fun to have a mini map with the ability to put Light of God checkpoints down.
I'll tell you what. There's one that I don't want the most. I don't want a quest list. You said quest list earlier, and I'm like, I don't want it, because you know what the quest list creates? I go, hey, Wooly, how's it going? Doing well? Okay, great. And then I see 35 quests fail. And I go, what? What the fuck what'd I do? What did I not do? Why?
That's a real one.
I don't want that.
Let's take one over here from RJ. Says, dear Wooly and Pat, the IGN reviewer, Zombie was an incredibly frustrating game. I saw it for sale for 75% off via Xbox Live Marketplace. Picked it up because I remember you said it was a fantastic survival horror game. Cue the game-breaking bugs, fast traveling in the final area, finding the closest waypoint, soft locks the game. It thinks you're in the middle of an escape sequence you haven't started yet. So you run all the way back to the beginning waypoint, all the way to Buckingham Palace without using any type of shortcuts. Then you have to run back the same route and get yelled at by your prepper friend. You're then told to go to the Tower of London, and you don't go to the actual right direction. When you zone over, boom, ending, credits, no conclusion to anything that happened in the game. 1 out of 10.
Yeah, no, that sucks. Apparently the ports are terrible. I'm not going to tell you. Like, that game's great, but that game's great assuming it doesn't fall apart on you.
What did it get ported to?
A lot. Like, all sorts of shit. Like, PC, Xbox.
So, wait, Zombie U is the only one that,
Zombie is the Wii U. Yeah. It's the Wii U version that they put more work into.
Okay. Well, sure.
Sorry, bro. That sucks.
Here, the Michael says, dear son of man who refuses to read subs and son of man who wanted all the dubs, recently dragged my dad to an arcade, had some fun on the pinball machines, Black Knight included. Eventually we made our way to the actual video games, and dad, that he usually hates, decided to play him in Golden Tee, a golfing game that uses the trackball, thinking he'd at least like the theme. Fast forward to him giving me the darkest, dankest cheats to how to reset my club mid-swing by pressing the camera button. Turns out he's a basement Golden Tee god. Don't know if you've ever experienced something like this, just thought it was funny.
Oh, I have.
The breakout Lucille moment.
My dad, who doesn't play video games, got into Risk and was like beating like maximum level PC 96 Risk fucking AIs that cheat like crazy.
Oh shit.
Every day. And then fucking I remember telling you about this, like Wii bowling, like the Wii Sports comes out. My dad's like, okay, cool. And then after like a day or two, he's able to bust out a perfect game on Wii U bowling, like on a whim. And it's like, okay, I don't know how to do that. How do you do that? He's like, it's easy. It's like, oh, right, because dad can also bowl for real. And don't, like my dad, I don't know if you ever saw my dad's hands, but they're horribly mangled and destroyed. But despite that, don't play pool with my father and don't play poker with my father. You know what? Don't play anything with my dad for money.
Because is it like he doesn't play games, but the ones he's willing to play, it's for a reason?
Yeah, because he'll beat you.
Yeah. Okay.
Every time.
Nice. Yeah, I can't think of anything unexpected like that coming out of anyone I know, but
I still remember my dad showing me some card tricks. I'm like, these are cool. Would you ever use that in like a real game, or would you get in trouble? And he's like, oh no, you would never use these in a real game. That would be wrong. And I'm like, okay. Okay, I see how it is.
Fucking take a swing down by Bar Diana and see if anyone recognizes him. Yeah. Okay, well, that'll do. That'll do.
All right, I gotta get back to my island and pet some goats.
To receive the rewards.
Make that big goat number big. I don't even know what you get out of it. My friends are crazy.
All right, y'all. Fucking go hit the fucking, go help me fight the algorithm. Do it.
Have a good week, everybody. Be
Goodbye.
safe.